Coming soon. There we go. We're live. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Canada Guns Talk Show, Episode 9. At least we're not California. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel, the hunting gear guy.
You call me Gun Canuck, because that's my YouTube channel name. So
There we go.
I'm Andrew, the Newfoundlander, who's here all the time.
You got the MAGA hat? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Janitor Fans here out in Alberta checking in.
Hi, I'm Chris.
He lives in Toronto, unfortunately for him.
But still, why people pick on Toronto? Like, I don't get it.
Well, because Toronto, we tried to kind of ban gun shops and.
Yeah, but those
well,
mayors are stupid. It's no different than Hamilton. My mayor wanted to ban guns in the city,
well, no,
and he got laughed at.
Believe me, if David Miller was able to, he would have tried that. Remember when Adam Vaughn came out trying to ban ammo in Toronto?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fuck that guy, and he's a federal politician now.
So I would say that Hamilton is different than Toronto though, because at least
No,
Toronto
it's like the same.
At least Toronto can get a hockey team.
At least Toronto can get a hockey team.
Yeah, a shit hockey team.
That's the guy
And actually,
Jealousy
too,
talking.
the Hamilton Bulldogs is Toronto's home team. No, it's never mind. I messed up. That's
Marlies are Toronto's home
Yeah,
team.
I know. It's
Come
Montreal. It's Montreal.
Okay. Hockey is interesting, but what about
Guns are better. It's my FMP. I don't know much people that own this gun, or you can find one in Canada, but I have one.
Does that fit the FNS mags?
I don't think so. I haven't tried that out. It might.
You gotta try it. Do you
But
know
I
why you
don't
need
have
to try it?
Because FN stuff are really hard to get in Canada.
No, because FNS 40 mags have a dimple on them instead of a straight up block. Now the dimple will stop a 40 cal round from getting past 10. It will not stop a 9mm round.
Oh.
So the FNS 40 mags will fit 10 40s or 17 9mm.
That
Please.
is
Shit.
In Canada, because it is limited for the caliber that it is built for, but it will feed 9mm just fine.
Excuse me while I go and look for one of these guns, literally just for that reason. Fuck.
Millarm's
been
got
looking
them
for a
for
while.
$4.99.
Got
They
what
had
gun? An FNS?
FNS or their
For
Millarm
$4.99?
had them for
Damn, that's
$4.99.
cheap.
Oh, this is like a month ago. Let me check right now here.
That's really cheap. I'll be back.
Yeah.
He's running
going to get his credit card.
He's running to a local gun shop to get one now.
Someone shit posted about the California laws on the fucking subreddit, and I'm trying to find it.
Okay, well let's pull up some of the obvious ones. So they're trying to stop the bullet button.
Not trying, they have.
Now, well, it's
in
only a matter of
recent
time. It's only a matter of time until the enthusiastic gun manufacturers out there find a way to give us back, or give the Californians back, detachable mags. Like what's
Something.
disassembled,
the
right?
issue is, my understanding is the law actually stipulates a firearm must be disassembled to be able to have the mag removed now.
So what does disassembled mean?
I don't know. There's some people who are debating that what they're going to do is have a quick release AR where you can open the top real quick and basically load the mag with stripper clips.
Better
What
than
the
nothing,
hell?
guys.
Yeah.
Wanna do it? Yeah. Stripper clips.
The gun laws are way worse than ours. That's fucking stupid.
You can load an AR mag with stripper clips. I mean, they exist. They're just not very common.
So the thing about that is, like, no detachable mags anymore. If they wrote it that you couldn't have a detachable mag, what you could do rather than stripper clips is, I'm thinking just myself, is having like a magazine like you would have, and a mag release on the back you would usually with your thumb, but instead of it coming right off, you'd have like a hinge. Do you get what I mean?
You mean like the Browning bar where the
Maybe.
mag comes off and then you got to take it out? Oh, I hate those. I hate those so
So the BAR has a hinged floor plate and a magazine that clips into the top. And to take out the magazine, you drop the hinged floor plate down and then pull out the magazine. It is terrible.
That's the only problem I have with the bar. I love that rifle, except for that.
Sort of like that, but without the magazine coming out, just like attached to the floor plate. That's the only thing I could think of. Or like you
Like
could
the
have a
SKS
magazine.
ugly ass mags.
Sort of, yes, but you would be able to fill the mag underneath. You know what I mean? Anyway, or you could have like an Allen key that you would use to like twist like a quarter turn and then it'll drop out.
That was the idea behind the bullet button, and it seems like California is attempting to close all of those kinds of possibilities completely.
Which is dumb, as this is the dumbest thing.
Yep. Another thing they've done is they've banned any magazine above 10 rounds, and ex post facto, you must hand in any magazine above 10 rounds. And ex post facto laws, unlike here in Canada, they are illegal in the United States. If something was legal at the time you owned it, they cannot try and ban you from having it into the future, which is what California is trying to do with this law. Now, California circuit judges are a bunch of shitheads and don't give a fuck about their rights when it inconveniences their rhetoric that the Democrats want, because they're all appointed by the Democrats. So the California circuit's obviously going to not give half a shit about this, and it'll take years to get to the Supreme Court if the Supreme Court even bothers to hear the case. So, by that
I
point,
wonder,
it'll be too late.
so that 10-round mag limit, does it talk to the magazine as it's manufactured and marketed?
As it's manufactured, I understand it, and I don't believe that, unlike in Canada where we can repin a magazine, from what I understand in most states where magazines of a high capacity are prohibited, modifying the magazine does not count as making it a lower capacity. Like, you can't stick a rivet in it like you can
I was
here.
wondering about like 50 Beowulf and that kind of thing. I've got the bill in front of me right here. Bill 1446 bans the simple possession of ammunition feeding devices or magazines that are capable of holding more than 10 cartridges. Well, that's pretty straightforward. I mean, the SKS fixed mag on the bottom, if you hold it in your hand, it is capable of feeding more than 10 rounds.
People do that here just to get it to feed
fixed?
10.
Well, in Canada here we do. In the States, that would feed, what, 15? No problem?
Yeah.
So is that prohibited?
I mean, I don't think they're going quite like New York where you can own a 10-round, but you can only put 7 in it.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, bullet buttons. What else they got here?
Bullet buttons were
background
dumb.
check.
No
for ammo
temporary
sales.
loaning firearms for lawful purposes. So you can't
Yeah.
loan a firearm to
You
someone.
can't loan a firearm unless they're an immediate family member, is my
I have
understanding of
a
that one.
question as well with that. With regards to loaning firearms in Canada, like, how is that a thing you can do? I'd
Yeah,
imagine
do they have a firearms license? If so, yeah, you can lend them a firearm. Just kind of maybe like make sure to get some kind of written agreement that it's your gun now that it's not registered anymore,
Yeah.
so that they can't try and claim it's their gun, and then you actually have some proof it was your gun in case it's such a giant douchebag.
I wouldn't,
And on
I wouldn't
restricted,
go-
it's a little bit different too.
Yeah, restricted
Yeah,
is a little bit of a pain in the ass unless you live in the same house as the person.
No, there's a lending ATT in Canada, and it's not that bad to get.
Okay.
Yeah, I've used it before, and it's well, our Alberta CFO is really good. You call them up, you're like, I want to do this thing, and I think I want to do this kind of ATT, and they will usually be pretty accommodating with it. So, I personally think that they consider the firearms laws that we have to be a pain in the ass, and they don't really want to. They just want to do the easiest thing that gets their job done. They don't really care about what the thing is that you're doing. They just want to get through it and go home at the end of the day, just like any bureaucrat, right?
As far as I can tell in my limited experience with them, the one for the Atlantic provinces is pretty good too. I mean, because like New Brunswick and Nova Scotia and PEI and Newfoundland are all under Miramichi, New Brunswick, and they seem to be pretty good. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't
they
had any problems.
are. Yeah, the guys I'm on that Slamfire podcast with, they do the coolest stuff. Like, if you get a chance, go on YouTube and check out the Restigouche Gun Club. They've got some really cool stages set up on some of their courses, and we're having problems doing let's say a third of that here in Alberta. They've got a stage that's like a two-story house. They're shooting down into the ground. They're doing all this crazy stuff, and in Edmonton here, our local CFO is complaining about us having ground strikes that are, we're in the middle of nowhere at my range. So I don't know. I'm not going to complain about that too much, but.
Yeah, two things. Okay, one, feel free to take an opportunity to plug your podcast because I actually haven't seen that.
Slamfire Radio. So if you drive to work and you've got like a 15, 30-minute drive, go on Slamfire Radio podcast. We don't have any we don't get paid for it. It's just free. It's just me and some guys from New Brunswick and a girl from Ontario that do it, and it's good.
Cool.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I quite like it.
I'm pretty sure it's the
But,
most popular gun podcast in Canada. No, there aren't that many other ones, but
That's kind of like I know the guy who was #1 in Black Ops on the Wii for Demolition. He was
Black Ops on the
probably
Wii is pretty specific.
Yeah, well, Demolition on Black Ops on the Wii. So there's probably about 18 people that played it.
What else we got here for laws?
They require a background check for ammunition sales now in California. So the same NICS background check that you go through for a gun that half the time the FBI can't be bothered to actually do that paperwork. Now California requires that for every fucking box of ammo you buy. So God knows how shit backlogged the system is already. California's going to make it even worse. But at least it didn't go quite as far as Hawaii and put every single gun owner in the state on a criminal database.
Awesome.
Or like Canada.
We're not
'Cause
technically
we
in a
get
criminal
checked nightly.
database. Yeah,
We're not
we
on a
get
criminal
checked,
database.
The state of Hawaii actually put them in the FBI crime database. Every gun owner in the state of Hawaii is in the FBI crime database now.
Great.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any other alternative database. At least we're not technically in a crime database. We're in another database that's basically treats us like we're criminals anyway.
Well, it checks us every night, make sure that we haven't done anything too strange. But I mean, like California is saying that they need a check every time they buy ammo. We are de facto checked every night, and then you just show up to the gun shop and you've got your card, and that is your
That's also
proof of background check, right?
That's also why we're allowed to have guns shipped to our house, whereas in the States they can't. Oh, which is another thing. In California, you can't have ammo shipped to your house anymore because of this. But yeah, because they need to do the background check at the store every time they buy something, you can't ship guns to your house in the U.S. But in Canada, we can because we have a license.
Oh, that is so badass. I love getting guns shipped to my house. I love when my wife sends me a text of a box like that, like sitting in my hallway. I love it so much.
Half the time I end up getting just a notice from Canada Post. We attempted to make delivery, and I'm just like, yeah, sure you did.
Left it in between the screen door and the front door.
Doesn't it require a signature?
This is why I'm never getting anything like that delivered actually to my house. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have it like held at the post office because that's ridiculous. Like that would definitely happen here. Like I said, I got a flagpole delivered to my house once, and that's a very long package, and they left it on my front doorstep. So I mean, like, you know, in the middle of the city. So it's not like, you know.
The difference is guns are actually legally required to be signature on delivery.
Oh, I've had signature on delivery before, and then they just leave it on the front doorstep, and there's no signature.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, definitely. What else we got here? Required a victim of a crime to report to local law enforcement the theft of a firearm within 5 days.
Yeah, well, you
So
know,
don't go on too long of a vacation if you got guns.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I don't mind the intent behind this. If you get your gun stolen, please try to tell the cops that you got some guns stolen. But the time range and there's a lot of circumstances where this is going to bite honest people in the butt.
As far as I understand, to claim that you had a boating accident is now illegal in California.
What?
You know, the joke everyone makes, oh, I don't have my guns, officer, I had a boating accident. Apparently it's illegal to have, I don't know. I heard someone basically say boating accidents are illegal in California. I don't know if it's illegal to lie to law enforcement about losing a gun, which I understand has always been the case, or if it's just illegal for you to lose a gun anymore.
I have a feeling you can lose a gun, but you have to report it within a certain time frame, and that's what they're getting at. Probably like the stolen thing. But anyway, with the stolen thing, I imagine it's within, you know, a time frame of you.
Oh, shit, is that Crover?
There he is! He managed to join in!
It's like good quality, man.
Hey man, what kind of potato are you filming that on?
We'll say a rotten potato.
I think he froze.
Gone. He was walking by a Starbucks, he caught the Wi-Fi inside, he got dialed up. Oh, there he is.
Oh, no, I'm here. What the hell are you talking about?
Gross.
He's Mexican, he
Yeah, hi.
steals his internet too.
Yeah.
Still helping people move there?
What?
Still helping people move?
No, I haven't even. Actually, I'm going to be like 10 minutes late.
Awesome.
Moving or to the podcast?
Yeah, well, don't worry. Actually, I might actually stay on the call as I drive around
Sounds safe.
No, it'll be alright. I'll just like not be watching the screen, and then I'll put on my headphones, and yeah, that'll work.
Crover, a reporter in the
Fuck
field.
you, Andrew. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Right back at you, buddy.
Thanks, but by the way, I already sold one of the barrels.
Nice.
Agreement for that. So one of your barrels is gone. I have a buyer for the receiver, and I have a
Nice.
buyer for the other barrel. So you're shit out of luck, kiddo. You don't get a Crover
man.
gun anymore.
Hey, man, that's it. That's all I can do.
Yeah. Did you tell them? Did you tell them you were a little bitch and backed out?
Hey, man, that's all I can do. I explained this.
No, that's fine. I'm just fucking with you. That was a
I know.
rough deal, though. Did you tell them? Tell them about that. That was funny.
No, I'll tell you about it a little later.
Okay, fine. Fuck you.
Okay.
What do you guys talk about so far?
Well, we're just
California.
we're just finishing off the laws in California. I was saying, one of the things that I kind of like about these restrictive laws in California is that this is going to force American gun makers to make guns for California, which is going to benefit us.
Well, the thing is, I don't want an integral magazine AR that you have to break open in the middle to fucking load.
Break action.
What
AR.
about a pump action 308
Oh!
that
You got it, Joel.
is lightweight and takes detachable mags because it's a pump action? Is there a lot? Is it around pump action or semi-autos? Do just semi-autos have to have the bullet button?
I have no idea what the
facsimile?
situation is. No.
Mm,
I don't
neither
know
do I.
how.
I think it's just semi-autos in California.
Yeah,
Just semi-autos. Okay, the pumps are good, right?
Yeah, I love that Trey Park, the rifle, but I gotta say that I love the idea that the Californians had. Any 10-round magazine or over 10 rounds is illegal. Please turn them in.
Yeah, right. Which is actually illegal. The government of California doesn't have the authority to do that.
That is a cool story, isn't it? It sure is.
Those laws are illegal. Those laws are unconstitutional. They can't pass laws like that. But it's not like California's circuit gives half a shit.
Yeah, they probably don't give a shit, but whatever. Whatever.
That's awesome. But this is not restricted. This is.
Dude, you should totally take that out next deer season and piss off some butts.
Going to. So here's the thing. I didn't know this, but just as I was telling the guys before the show, this is one of 4 in the country right now. So this one's in 308, which is perfect for deer. I was actually looking at getting one in 300 Blackout. The store that is 10 minutes away from my house got these in 308. I called them like, you still got those? Yeah, we still got them. I'm coming down right now. And they're kind of neat. So they've got a bolt release down here because they lock in place. But there's our bolt release, and if you push that in, that lets you shuck this sucker forward. So, yeah,
That's authoritative. I like it.
non-restricted, 308. They're supposed to be accurate. Of course, I haven't had this thing out to shoot it yet. I just got it today, but that is as close to an AR as you're.
I have heard that the muzzle brake is pinned in and you can't take it off.
Oh, I think I'm gonna make it work. What's the length on this thing, anyways?
Enough.
I think that's a Troy product, the muzzle brake on there.
I
Well,
bet
I thought I saw something on CGN there where they were going to make those restricted because it wasn't long enough without the muzzle brake, and then they
They had
said,
some that
okay,
were
it's
folding.
non-restricted.
They had
Did you
the
know
223 and 308 that were folding.
Oh, okay, sure.
Was it still 660 millimeters in overall length? And could it be fired?
The OAL is fine.
With
This is going to be non-restricted.
Yeah, with the shorter ones, well, that's the only concern. If it's still a 660 millimeter overall length, so 26-inch overall length, it doesn't matter if it folds. It's a pump action. There's no barrel length restrictions on pump action. The only thing is overall length.
Yeah, the problem was that somebody at the RCMP lab was like, oh, wait, does the fucking muzzle device count or not? Oh, wait, it doesn't count. It's restricted. And then somebody was like, what the fuck are you talking about? and then they go, oh shit, right, never mind.
Yeah, it's a fucking pump. It's not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I Run Guns was like, I want to bring in a shitload of these non-restricted rifles. Oh, hold up a second. They're restricted. What the fuck, RCMP? And then the RCMP goes, whoops, my bad.
Well, at least they admitted to it and
the
reversed it.
Shotguns.
Yeah.
Yep.
But let me give you guys a close up of this thing just so you can see what it
Okay,
looks like.
I'm gonna go because I am actually not gonna drive and be on the call. So I'll see you guys maybe on the after show or maybe later on. Okay?
Hey,
Sounds
good.
good.
For you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. For you.
Fuck you, Andrew.
All right, there's that weird muzzle brake that's on there. I don't see any
1 in
pinning.
11 1/4 twist.
Yeah.
It's very
So
interesting.
no heavy stuff, but that's fine.
Well, how heavy can you get? Well, like with 180 will be fine?
I think it's going to be fine with pretty much most things. Sorry about my camera. This is just like a crappy webcam. There's our pump on there.
Now, does that have rails underneath those grips, or?
Yes, it does have some panels that you can see there that'll pull out. I don't know what's under there, but there might be something that you can grab onto there. I don't think you should put anything on this. I think just keeping it nice and clean is fine.
Well, I was just wondering for putting a forward grip on if someone wanted to.
Put a master
These
key
circles look about the same size as a Troy Alpha, so this might fit Troy Alpha rail accessories. And I've got an AR that's got a Troy Alpha rail on it, so I guess I can find out.
That is pretty sweet though.
There
That's
we
not
go.
How many in the mag?
This is a 5-round mag, and it's been pinned, so there we go. There's that.
Ugh, so maybe it's an M14 mag.
No, it's not. It's a side. It's probably the AR-10 mag.
Oh, yeah.
Which there might be some stuff out there that works with it. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to
I know
get
there's
some more
stuff
time.
that works in the M14. Someone on CGM was just bitching about his 20-round mag, or not CGN. Reddit was just bitching about his 20-round mag not holding open, and I'm like, dude, really?
Oh
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know that you could use those style mags in it. There's more. So we got like a full flat top on the upper, so lots of room for scopes and that kind of thing. I got kind of like this angular receiver here. This upper and lower guaranteed will not fit on a standard AR-15 or AR-10 because otherwise it would have come up back restricted. And this rear stock is totally stupid, but it can be replaced with whatever else. So who cares?
You already got an idea what you're going to put on the top of that?
I don't know. I think that the thing that makes sense is to put on a big bad scope, see how accurate this thing is shooting at the range, and if it's super accurate, maybe it deserves a scope, and if it's not so accurate, or a red dot maybe.
Adriel, I vote a upside down master key.
Mount a shotgun on the top.
I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
Speaking of working on things, how's the 3-in-1 gun coming, bud?
I'm waiting on parts. I need parts to show up. They're coming in from China because I'm cheap.
I need to see this. Listen, my dad, who absolutely doesn't hate firearms, but he dislikes firearms, thought this was hilarious, so we need to see the 3-in-1 gun.
Janitor pants. You're going to try and do one too?
I might. We'll see. I still haven't made it over to that machine shop. Work's been stacked, but
Janitor, you're in Alberta as well, right?
that's right.
Okay, you guys need to get a 3-in-1 gun league.
Are you going to come out to the next 3-gun?
I'm sure hoping to. Like I say, my schedule's always a little bit up in the air, but I've been gearing up that way, so I sure hope I can make it.
You know which date it is, right?
16th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Got to come out.
So guys, mildly, not really at all. Actually, I have a little thing to go with my hat. Da-da, da-da. I tried to get this signed from my brother, but I couldn't figure out how to mail it to Trump and get it mailed back. But this is my brother's. I got it for him for Christmas.
For Christmas?
Yeah. I also have Ayn Rand's book, The
Oh,
Fountainhead.
God. Atlas Shrugged?
No, The Fountainhead. Slightly better, allegedly. Allegedly.
My buddy tried to give me a copy of Atlas Shrugged once. I left it on the subway. I'm just like, no, I don't want this.
Listen, man, some poor homeless man probably picked that up, and then his entire life became a lie. So guys, I have another gun-related question. How do you feel about the Archangel Nomad stock for the 1022?
You mean that deadly assault weapon that we're finding in Toronto and Calgary all the time?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, exactly. I want to give you
One of my coworkers has one. I mean, every time I see a G36 at the gun range, I have to remind myself, no, it's a 1022. G36s cost like 10 grand, and there's 6 of them in the country.
Hey man, you don't know me.
I know you enough to know that you're not going to buy a G36.
There's only a few of them. That's it.
There's like 7 or 8, or like there's not much because HK got fucked by the German government shortly after exporting them to Canada. German government bans them from exporting military guns from Germany, so the G36 got banned for export, and that's why they had the SL8.
Miracle.
Sucks. That's a cool machine gun.
But yeah, no, it's kind of neat. I've seen some reviews. It looks good. I might get one eventually. Eventually, I mean probably by August.
So, Andrew, what happened that Crover was so intent on talking about there?
Okay, hold on now. I'll be back in a second and I'll explain.
He's running away.
Do you guys want to see what this thing looks like inside?
Sure.
Does it look like a gun?
It looks
We
like
have a new joiner. Who is the one who has joined?
Hello.
Tango.
Okay, so I'll explain. I basically had to make sure my father's gone to bed, but okay, so essentially what happened was I was going to buy his 870 off of him with a 26-inch barrel and a 14-inch barrel, and he was going to paint it, and it had that shitty furniture, but whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was going to buy that off of him. It was like $650, whatever. So I thought it was a decent deal because a camoed 870 with the 26-inch barrel alone and not the 14-inch barrel is like $219, like $619. So I mean, the 14's another $200. Anyway, it was a good deal. So I was going to buy that, and then I mentioned to my parents that, oh yeah, I'm planning on buying this. And I live in their house right now because I'm not in school, so I kind of have to put up with, if they disagree with something. So they got really PO'd about the whole, oh yeah, you're buying this off somebody. What if he rips you off? I'm like, man, I know the guy. Like, I know people have bought guns off the guy. It's not like, some random dude just messaged me and said, oh, I got a gun for you, want to buy it? Anyway. So we got really PO'd, and I don't really want to deal with that headache. So I said, let it cool off for a bit, and I'll get back to you. And I said, post in the meantime if you want. So he posted it and sold it, and we're all cool. It's just, that's why I'm not buying it. That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do.
Yep.
Strict parents, that sucks.
Well, I mean, they're not bad normally, but they're just concerned is all, right? They don't want to see me lose like $600. So I understand. It's kind of misplaced concern is what it is.
I totally know this guy from the internet. He's cool.
No.
Yeah, man, I met him on the internet.
I swear, Mom, it's totally legit.
You know what I'm saying, though, right? I mean, it's like normally I just do it and it doesn't matter, but I made the mistake of mentioning it, and like I said, I don't want to deal with the inevitable argument that would last for 2 months. So
Just remember, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
No, fair. I didn't really ask for permission. I just told them it was happening, and they got mad. So.
Well, you could just get like a friend to straw buy it for you. It's not like the ATF's gonna get pissed.
Oh, well done. Now he sold one of the barrels to Climate, of course. So no, I was kind of like I was half on the fence anyway. So I mean, it's just as well. Anyway, now I'm probably gonna buy that STG. So anybody else have any topics? Mango, you jumped in. So
I'm just kind of waiting for
Oh yes, I am. I will be right back and grab something actually, but I'll be back soon.
So here, let me pull this closer so you guys can see this here.
Do you want to fix the camera on your thing?
I'm working on it. There we go. Okay, so there is, and this, if you have an AR-15, that part there is going to be different because that's our new bolt stop. And that guy goes all the way down through the trigger guard there, so there's that guy. Let's see, I think the lower, well, I mean, there's no buffer tube, so that's weird, but everything else is the same on the bottom here. Let's check the upper.
How many views do we got right now?
10.
Seven viewers?
7. Oh.
Yeah. There's our pin. That's all different.
So what are we looking at?
This is a Troy PAR in 308. It's one of
Interesting.
four in the country right now.
It's more or less a pump AR that's not restricted.
Here, let me.
Yeah. It fits on a different lower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Different
it-
lower.
Listen, it's a black rifle. It's scary. It's an AR. Okay.
Where is the action bar on this thing? I can't. Oh, you know what? It's right. I don't know if you guys see down there. It's where the gas tube would go.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
novel use of space there.
Well, you
Fancy.
might as well, right? Let's
Yeah,
see, is it back
exactly.
here?
Yeah, you
Yes,
don't
it
need
is
a
back
gas
there.
So, wait, so does it use AR barrels and an AR BCG, or?
Air barrels. I imagine this BCG is different. Whoop. Ooh. Well, there's our
I don't know,
tube there.
because it kind of rides on the rail there, right? So.
Just kind of goes through. That's where the gas key and the gas tube would normally be. So interesting. So I'll continue to take this apart, but I'll swap it to someone else so someone else can talk a little bit eventually.
Yeah. So if you.
I'll
if you
fix it
guys-
on yours.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go
So
for it.
we had the Wanstall sale a while ago. I think it was like 2 weeks maybe. And I kind of was irresponsible with my spending and picked this guy up.
Ooh, Chris
Oh,
Factor.
nice.
Does like everybody have those almost?
What caliber?
This is a 9mm because I can't afford to shoot 45.
But you can afford a $3,000 submachine gun.
Well, it was $15.59. Then I put a Fortis. I can't even figure out where my camera is. Put a Fortis vertical grip on it because I think it looks cool.
It does.
I wasn't planning on buying this optic either, but it just also happened to be on sale as well, and I purchased it. It's the Mi Pro M21. They were 25% off at Wanstall, so
They're
I'm
not
pretty
cheap.
happy with it so far. Yeah. It takes a while to get used to this optic because it runs off of actually this I believe it's like a fiber optic system. There's no real electricity in it. So it actually, I don't know if I can, because my camera's attached to my computer, but it's actually super dark blue tinted, if you notice there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can see it just a little bit.
I think those
Yeah.
are iridium charged, aren't they?
I'm not entirely sure, but it
What's
glows
the iridium?
by light.
How long does it last?
Like 10 years or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, not entirely sure. This is a Glock 17 magazine, so 10 rounds, but when my Glock 22 magazine arrives, I can fit 10 rounds of 40 cal or more rounds of 9mm.
Yeah, it's a tritium at night.
Trinium, there we go. Sure.
That's what I meant.
Okay, so it is powered by cancer. That's nice.
Yes, it is powered by cancer.
Okay, cool. So now I should probably stop putting things inside it, but anyways. Yeah,
So
I'm
you
super
think-
happy with this gun. There's basically no recoil. It's a bit front heavy, and the charging handle is kind of strange. You can't really just like pull it back and forward. Basically, you pull back until you feel it hold the bolt. Let's see if we can show that there. And then you have to pull back a little bit more, and then you can actually feel it catch on the bolt, and then you have to let the whole thing like ride forward. I didn't actually do it, but yeah, it's an interesting gun. But yeah, I also I was shooting some commercial reloads out of it. I won't name the company, but it was the same company I had problems with my 357 rounds, and I actually had a split casing out of my rifle, which was a lot of fun.
Ooh.
Yeah, so no more reloads for me. I'm just gonna buy factory ammo from now on.
Which
I had,
what
my
kind of
AR.
split did you get?
It was a case split.
Like
It was-
along the
No,
case?
like on the halfway, so the whole yeah.
So like case head
separation.
separation, or did it split?
It was basically case head separation. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I've got this. I got this bolt out. I had to look in the manual, which I don't like to do, but sometimes you got to. Check this monster out.
Oh, damn.
So that thing like plugs into something that you can push underneath the handguard, and then you get it out. So this is a 308, right? So this is going to be a little bit different than most of your bolts on like a 223 or something like that. And yeah, it's different. I can't imagine most 308s look like 308 bolts rather. Similar, but that part's obvious. I wonder. I guess that's where the gas key would go. I wonder if I pull this guy off, if it's just a normal gas key connection underneath there.
Yeah, the other question is that that bolt face there, is it actually the same as a regular AR-10 bolt face? Like, for example, if I...
Oh, I'd bet it would be.
Yeah, so that's interesting. It looks the same, I mean.
Yeah. I'd imagine it would be. I think the thing they did to make it work in a pump instead of a semi-auto is that they also fluted the chamber. I know they did it on the 223 and the 300 blackout, but I'm not sure if they did it on the 308s or not.
Interesting.
Yeah. So what are other topics that we had here?
I have. I don't know why I don't know what I'm doing. I was going to talk about my lever gat.
Oh, there you go.
Because I took this to the range and fired about 2 boxes of slugs out the fucking thing. I was going to do trap, and then they closed the trap range at Silverdale at like 4 on Canada Day, and I'm like, damn. But I don't know. Either way, like my buddy, he just bought one of my coworkers. He bought a Winchester SX3. He wanted to shoot some trap with that too, so we both got shafted. But yeah, I took this to the range, and with this fucking long ass extension tube, it fits 9 plus 1 of 2 5/8 inch Celia and Balot slugs. So, and I think it might even be able to fit 9 2 3/4. So it was pretty fun. The first few shots, actually, when I was working the lever, they got kind of jammed up a little bit in here. Like I got to about here, and I would feel like resistance trying to push the round in, and I had to really go with some force to get it in. And you got to eject with force to get it out, because the first few I had a stovepipe for the shell there on the ejection. So, I mean, I've never shot the Adler, so I don't really know how that performs in comparison. But basically, as I called this earlier, it's the Turkish knockoff of the Turkish knockoff of some Winchester no one owns. So yeah, other than that, it's still a little rough here. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it there, but you can actually see scoring marks on the bolt, like up along there where it's rubbing on the receiver in here, when most people would probably try and polish that, but I don't have the expertise for that, so I'm just going to let it work itself out over time, which I'm sure it will. The rear pin here loves coming loose. It's actually not held in by screws or anything. This one wiggles around a lot. Just working it here in my basement, I had to actually screw it in there. The wood feels a little bit looser now that I've actually shot the thing.
Hopefully you don't have another incident like the other gun. The, what do you call it? God, I always forget the name. The Russian thing.
Oh, the forend coming out. No, we're not. That's not really a possibility on this. The bike, you're not gonna have a problem like on the Baikal there. But yeah, other than that, I mean, this works pretty well. The lever being metal kind of hurts your knuckles to work it a whole bunch. And I mean, it's fun shooting 10 slugs there, but after a while, you're just like, holy shit, how much do I really have in this magazine? Because I'm just not used to it. I'm used to like 4 at the most, 5, like 4 plus 1. So I'm sitting there going, oh my god. Like,
never stop.
It didn't. It just kept going, and then I look and I'm like, oh my god, that's the end of it. But it was just ridiculous. I found out it does support ghost loading entirely by accident in a very weird fashion. Like my buddy, he tried to load one in, and then he didn't push it in all the way, and it kind of popped out of the mag tube and got stuck under here. And then when we worked the lever back, it didn't try and feed a second one. So you can have one under here if you can manage to get it in there somehow, but I don't know how you're going to do that.
The other Turkish one does that too.
Yeah, so there's an answer to that question that popped up last week or the week before from you there. Yeah.
So does it fit 10 if you ghost load it?
It would fit 11
Oh.
theoretically, because it's 9 in the tube, 1 in the chamber, and that would be another 1 under there, so that would be 11 total.
You could also play with those. I don't know if it'd feed properly, but you can get those mini shells.
Oh, the mini.
You can have like a 30-round mag.
Sit there and just like 30 rounds of boom, 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 boom.
It's super entertaining.
Another fun thing I had that I wanted to basically just be bragging about something was my Tokarev at the range today. So let me ask you, what's the most accurate Tokarev any of you have ever seen?
Oh well, I accidentally hit the target on my right.
Mine's in minutes of pie plate.
I mean, that's usually the thing. It can shoot fascist across field of beats, across a line of planted beats. His accuracy is sufficient. Is normally how Tokarev is go. I was astounded because when I went out on Canada Day, 4 of the shots, center target, and the rest within an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper at 10 yards. I was just looking at how well this was working, and I'm just like, what? Like, I'm taking the shots, looking down there, taking the shots, and going, what? That's me doing that. It's not the guy one thing over shooting my target or something. Like, I was astounded at how accurate this thing was being. It really surprised me. So I kind of guess I gained a new bit of respect for my little pistol here.
What did that initially cost you?
This cost me $200. And the crate of Czech ammo I got, 2,280 rounds, was another $300 at the time. The last price I saw that crate for was $450. But so basically, my criteria when I bought my first pistol were less than $500 and not 22. Well, $500, I got the gun and 2,000 rounds of ammo. It sure as shit isn't the 22.
Did it come with the sweet holster as well?
Yeah, it came with the leather holster, cleaning rod, and 2 magazines. It did not come with the lanyard, though.
Yeah, I don't have a lanyard with mine either. Yeah. What year is that one?
43.
43. Okay, I've got
43
a
50. And
maybe the old ones are better.
Yeah, 43 Ijevsk. I don't know.
Well, it's super weird because I would assume that anything made during the war would be a piece of shit.
Yeah, you'd assume it'd be a lower quality. This one, when I got it, actually, I was surprised at how little wear it had on it. It had obvious holster wear, which kind of gets worse because I store it in the leather holster, so whatever. I mean, that kind of adds character. But there was still bluing in the slide grooves. When I took this out and looked at the slide, there was bluing in the slide grooves, and I'm just like, wow, that means this hasn't been shot a whole lot.
Just gingerly executed political prisoners.
Exactly. This
Very
one
gingerly.
probably sat with some officer in a fucking desk somewhere in Moscow or St. Petersburg and didn't fucking do anything.
Were these were the Tokarevs ever refurbished before they were put into? Oh, okay.
But this one, like, I don't know. When I got it, it looked like just normal holster. It didn't look like it needed a refurbishment. All the parts are matching on mine.
Right.
Everything, barrel, fucking frame, slide. Even one of the mags I got matches. Only one of the mags, so not 2.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, for like $200, and I managed to get that out of this thing. I was really surprised. Of course, I do have the some modified high vis sights on there.
No, you can't do that.
Is that nail polish?
That is pink nail polish, 2 coats of pink nail polish and 1 coat of clear nail polish for protection, and this shit just stays on almost anything. I tried it on my SVT, though, and because it's got a massive muzzle brake, it blows it all off. But on stuff like this, I did it on mine. My dad did it on his high power. I'm probably going to do it on my Browning 380, and I'm thinking of doing it on my K98 Mauser with pink on the front, and since my K98 shoots a foot high, I'm going to put green on the rear sight where you need to aim the pink at, just to kind of remind me, aim here for it to be accurate. But yeah,
put some skateboard paint on that, and maybe get a soldering gun and put little dimples in the plastic grip, make it more grippy.
For this? No. Gun is fine. What else you fuck?
Well, you're gonna put a pink on the front sight there. You might as well go ahead with
pink
the
is make of reversing. You stick dimple in plastic, you cannot undimple. Plastic no undimple. Why you fuck gun? Gun is fine. You are problem.
You could
Gun
pull
is
that if you
shoot
didn't
fine.
have the pink on it. If you didn't have the pink on it, you could pull that.
I think it's
Gun
too
is
late for
fine.
you.
You are problem.
I think it's too late for you. You fucked it.
Yeah, you might as well keep going.
It's totally worthless
You want,
now.
I
You'll
take
never
pig
get that
off
100
next
days
time.
back.
Go shoot name of target. Show picture. I take good old fucking whatever cheap shitty Russian camera my grandfather had from Poland. Show you nice
Collectability's
photograph.
gone. Collectability's gone. You've just got a wall hanger now.
Does it actually ruin the value of the gun when you put nail polish?
No, because
The gun
nail
had
polish
no
is completely
value.
removable. Nail polish is removable, so it doesn't ruin anything.
Ruined. Has anyone else got some guns you wanted to show off?
Nah. I
Here's
just shot
my
my handgun.
yet to
I
be
guess.
purchased rifle.
My FMP 9.
Yeah, give her.
It's really nice. It's a 9mm FN. I don't know. I think it's one of the few in the country because not too many people I know that have it.
Is that the FN9?
Yeah, FMP 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
FNP9.
So it's hammer fired. Single.
Interesting.
Yeah. They
There's
came
a
with
lot
this
more
nice
of the
case.
FNS, but
Yeah,
the FNS is
yeah,
striker.
I've seen a lot of the FNS.
Came with this nice case too. 3 magazines it comes with. 3.
3 magazines. It's got a 10-round mag.
Yeah, it's really nice. It comes apart easy. It's really nice quality too, like the machining stuff.
I just can't get over how much they look like a Smith and Wesson Smegma.
I thought it looked like either a Smith or a Springfield myself.
Yeah, this is better than that.
Is it a polymer frame?
I agree.
Yes, it is polymer. That's right.
Okay, so how much does
Hammer
one of those run you?
I bought this used for $550, but usually I find
Holy shit, you got a deal.
I
Those
know.
are $1,000.
I know, yeah. FN guns are like, yeah, about 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the
I got a really good deal.
FNS are 500 to 600, but the FNP like you've got there, they're a lot more.
Oh, they are?
Oh yeah,
Well, that's good
it's
to
a
know
good
that.
deal.
Yeah,
Good
that's
deal.
$550 with shipping. So-
Nice.
Wow.
And the guy I bought off only used at the range once, so it's
Oh.
barely used.
That's crazy.
I also got this custom-made holster with it too. Yeah.
Huh.
This guy made a kayak, some guy in British Columbia. It cost him, but it's, yeah, fits in the holster nicely. I got my OD green.
Are those the ones that
Solely Canadian. That's the guy.
Oh, is that the
Solely
one?
Canadian
Yeah, that's right.
in BC.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Sweet.
Just that I kind of got the model wrong because I said FNS. Because when I saw the ad, it said FNS, but then when I got the gun, it's FNP, so this doesn't fit on there all the way. So I just need to wait for the new strap, and then.
It's okay. Some places, as long as you've got just the one level, don't care.
Yeah, but I want the both level though. I like that.
What do you need retention for?
I need
Case
retention. I just need to be bigger. Because it's cool though. Because when you press that, it just goes on. Like, that's cool.
That's probably why
For
you got
cops.
such a good deal. Is the guy you bought it from probably didn't even know what he had. If he said if it was an FNS and it ended up being an FNP, he probably
Yeah,
had
that's
no
what it said in
idea.
the ad. Then I got it and it said FNP. It's like, oh, cool. Hammer fire. I'm like, yeah.
What does it say on your registration?
It says, I'm pretty sure it's F. Maybe it says, I don't know. Let me check. Oh, no, it says FNP. But I remember in the ad though, I did say FNS.
So the guy screwed up.
Good
Ah.
deal
The
for
side of
you.
your slide says FNP9 on it.
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, that's an FMP. Clearly.
Yeah, that's an FNP, all right.
It doesn't get more clear than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, because he's more of a Glock guy. It was some guy from Reddit who posted it on there. He had it up there for a while too.
Fuck.
Maybe that's why nobody wanted it. They thought it was an FNS.
Nah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So what's the best deal on a pistol you guys ever gotten personally?
That's my best deal.
Oh yeah. You win.
I'll be right back. I'll show you guys a deal that's awesome. I just have to go get it.
It would probably be my Browning 380. I mean, I did have to wait 11 months for it, but I got it for half price.
Oh, was that the 1911 looking thing that you got from Cabela's or whatever?
I got it from Browning, like direct from Browning.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's the problem you talked about the one time, right? Had it with them?
It's
Maybe
still
I call
having
them?
the gun is still having problems.
Oh my
It's
god.
not that great of a deal.
I'm going to Flaherty's. I'm going to buy Winchester ammo because I'm trying Remington out of it now. If it still gives me issues with Winchester ammo on Sunday, I'm probably going to call Browning because I don't
Feed
really
it
know if I
something
want to fuck
good.
with the mags
Don't
myself.
feed it Remington and Winchester. Feed it some CCI or something that's a little
Find me CCI and 380 in this country, man. That's a problem.
Go get some Federal American Eagle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you get some Federal?
Yeah.
Expensive, but it's good.
Nowhere seems to have it around here. I got Remington at my shop. Flaherty's just now got this stuff. The other stuff they have is Hornady, and I'm thinking maybe buy a box of that, but that's really expensive.
Yep.
Crazy, we were just discussing
Well-
how you can buy ammo online here. Jeez, man.
It's one box, right? So just try it out. It doesn't hurt to try.
Did any of
Yeah.
you get the $99 tokes when Canada Ammo had them? The 9mm ones?
$9 talk. Oh, I heard about those. Marstar had that a long time ago too. I remember.
$99 what's there?
$99 Tokarevs, 9mm Tokarevs from China. Fuck, if I'd have seen that deal, I would have bought one. I don't give a shit.
How good are they though? Are they like
Fine.
terrible?
No, fine. I had one,
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
and it was fine. And yeah, sold it for quite a bit more too. But I mean, that was a sweet deal. $100 for a 9mm pistol that ran and didn't jam on me. My 7.62 by 25 jammed every once in a while. I think it's because of the ammo. That surplus ammo was hit and miss. My
Yeah, I've had it
MP,
once in a while, but
yeah, just once in a while. My MP9 right now, it's absolutely fucking flawless. Never jams, and that's nice. Modern pistols are just really reliable, right? And that thing cost me $500 used for a range kit, which isn't the best deal that we're going to talk about today, because I know you guys have better deals on pistols than that. But
I had a better deal on a rifle, but not a pistol. Really.
I just got lucky.
I think
well, you got
really
so lucky, man. FMP for FNS pricing? Fuck.
Yeah.
So I've got this one here. This is a 1952 K22 Smith & Wesson Masterpiece. And the story with this is I was on a forum, and this guy had posted up that he'd inherited a bunch of his grandpa's guns. And he had his non-restricted, but didn't want to be bothered to get his restricted. So he's wondering if people would trade him a shotgun for this. So I traded him an old, worn-out Maverick 88 for this sucker here. He was happy as all get out. So, best deal I've ever got. It's a sweet little shooter. I mean, it's a nice old gun. I actually even told him, I sat down and I said, hey, you know, this is a bad deal for you. I wouldn't do this if I was in your shoes. I said, no, don't want restricteds, don't want them in the house, don't want nothing. I said, you know, your grandpa left this to you, are you sure? And he said, yeah, no, I'm sure. And then about 2 years later, I got a private message from him on the same forum saying, hey, yeah, I've got a kid now, and I was thinking maybe he'd like to learn on his grandpa's gun. Could I get that back from you for the same deal? So I didn't even bother to reply. I just said, no, sorry, I warned you then. I like this gun way too much to give it back. So that's the best deal I've ever got on a pistol.
Well,
It's
yeah,
nice.
what would that
It's
be,
a
like
nice
$600?
Yeah, well, and apparently I don't know too much about the collectability of the old Smith & Wessons. I don't have the box or anything like that, but depending where you look and who you believe online, it looks like they can go for quite a bit more than that even.
Oh, they can. CGN's, I think, got a couple of K22s up for around $650, $700.
K22.
Yeah. So I don't have it anymore. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I don't have it anymore. I flipped it. Of course I did, but it was about a few months ago. I purchased a P226. I think it was German. It was stainless, and it was the DAK model in 40 cal. So not many people really wanted it.
Ooh, that's why, yeah.
I got it for $500.
I still wouldn't buy that for a double action Kellerman because I just don't want DAO.
Well, I bought it for training purposes, just to get used to the DAK trigger, if/when I ever become a police officer. But Yeah, because like I just popped my 9mm slide on it, right, and I started shooting into 9. But yeah, it was for $500. It was a lot of fun, and I sold it for 750. So it's like whatever. Especially with like I think it was a German slide and had an American frame or the other way around. I don't really remember. Something like that. It was something strange. But yeah, like $500 for a SIG, it's like you can't really go wrong.
Nope.
I just kind of pulled out my mom's pistol here. Just seeing the Smith & Wesson reminded me of this one. This used to be a Smith & Wesson M&P 38 and 38 Smith & Wesson. It was sent to England for service in the British Armed Forces during World War II, and it has a bunch of British proof marks on it, actually. BNP there. It's got commercial stampings on the barrel here. What happened is post-war they converted this to 22 to use as a training revolver for police forces. And you'll actually notice it's got I don't know if you can see shit on there, but it says 22 LR. It's got square inches of tons per 8 tons per square inch. And this thing originally was double action only when we got it. And then my dad did some research, and the trigger on this thing is feather light. Like I've hit the side of it by accident, and the gun's gone off when I've cocked it on this thing, and it is accurate as all hell. But yeah, my dad did some research on this and found out basically in this configuration, it's basically like a K-22. Except it's not a K-22 because it's got a little bit of war history there.
Yeah, it looks super similar.
It
looks
really
identical.
does. But, like, yeah. I mean, a Smith is kind of a Smith, you know.
It's pretty cool. Actually, it's actually super cool.
Yeah.
I like that. It's cool. That's a nice history to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and I recently came upon some Canadian-manufactured 380 revolver ammo, so that's 38 Smith & Wesson. So now I have the original cartridge this gun shot, but not much use for it. I got it because someone I know was like, "Oh, you have a 380? Here, this says 380 on it."
So I was just going to ask you about the Type 81, but I just looked it up, and on the tactical imports it still says Q3 2016. So
I expect it sometime in like September or October, maybe.
Yeah, I just want to.
Are those guns even going to end up good, or?
They're new manufactured Chinese military bases. I mean, the Chinese, when they have their own platform, tend to do pretty well at it.
Haha, you got the same safe as I do.
The Costco one?
Yep, I can hear it.
Have you ever taken it apart and looked at how it works?
No.
I did, actually, because we had the safe break on us and it wouldn't lock. We found out that some screws inside it, some nuts and bolts came loose and came out. You know, all that holds that thing shut is a solenoid? The only thing holding that thing shut is a metal solenoid that sticks out. It's actually astounding.
Have you guys seen the video where the guy opens basically any safe with a magnet?
I've heard of this guy, but I've never seen the video.
Not with the magnet. I've seen him use a couple of different things at a couple of different safes. He shows like the trigger locks, and you jam a screwdriver in there, and it takes them out. The toggle lock. Oh, you've got it right here.
Yeah, I saw it like a while ago, and then my friends were like, "Hey, this." Yeah, any basically safe that's not an actual safe. Like a vault opens with a magnet just because of
all solenoids work off magnetic principle, right? So if you know where it's at and you've got a magnet strong enough to pull it.
Yep, and it pops open.
All the sentry safes, the electronic sentry safes are not that great anyway. I think it's the green wire inside. If you put like an electrical charge through it, it just pops the safe open anyway. And all you gotta do is, if you want to get it open, to get to the green wire, there's a plate on the front with the keypad. You turn it counterclockwise and pull it off, and there's the wire. That's all you gotta do.
They even colored it for you.
That's why you got to have home insurance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was astounding when it wouldn't shut, and we had the panel off, and I'm looking at it, and I'm literally looking at the part that fell off, and I'm looking at the safe, and then I move the handle, and I'm just like, I get where this part's supposed to go, but there's this one little spring that I didn't know where the fuck this spring was supposed to go, and we still don't know exactly where the spring was supposed to go, but we kind of put the safe back together and it functions. So we fixed it because my dad actually tried calling the company and they had no documentation whatsoever about how the locking mechanism works at all.
DIY, I guess. I mean, speaking about safes, one thing that I did with my safes just recently, I started using these rods. So they got like a Velcro tip on there.
Oh.
And with that Costco safe, I had 3 guns I couldn't fit in my safe anymore. And it's primarily because of that rack that goes around. Mm-hmm. So inside the rifle case or the safe, there's this rack that goes around that stands off guns and makes it so you can put a scoped rifle at the back. And it's shit for stacking rifles and shotguns in there. If you start using these guys, this is a plastic rod. So the idea is you can stack your shotguns, everything that's got like no scope, really tight to the back, and then stack a scoped or non-scoped in front. I can get 3 guns stacked in that fucking Costco, the $300 Costco safes that you get from Costco, and just with these guys. And these guys keep them separate enough to where they're not like bumping and scraping against each other, and you can fit a shitload more guns in the same safe.
That's one of the biggest issues I have with my stack on is the fact that the scope push off, like I have a stack on, the other one's my parents'.
Yeah.
And the stack on, they come with this extension piece for when you get a scope gun. Like every other safe comes with like 6 of these fucking things.
Oh yeah, they only give you 1 or 2, I think.
Yeah, in the 8 gun, they do.
Yeah.
They only give you like
this
1.
guy. This is the thing they give you, and it takes up so much space.
Yeah, that's yeah. I didn't even know that came out. To be honest.
Well, on the stack-on, they've got screws on the side that you use. On the Costco one, they've got like a little shelf thing that fits underneath it. But look at all that space. Look at all the space that is getting wasted in the safe.
That's what I mean. I didn't know that actually came out of that safe. But yeah, the stack-on one, it's like screwed in plastic bits to rest the barrels against, and then they have an extension piece. And I don't know if I don't think they sell those extension pieces separate because I want to get one for my 22 as well because it's got a scope on it and it's.
I've probably got something I could give you. I picked the 36 gun stack on, the safe one, and they give me the floor model. It was on sale for a really good deal. But they gave me the floor model, and then they gave me this box of parts. So I've got extra handles for the vault door. I've got extra extensions. I got like 3 times the accessories it should have got. I even got some keys that aren't for it. I don't know what they're for. They just kind of took everything they had and threw it in a box and gave it to me. So
yeah, because I know
able to hook you up.
That would actually be real helpful because I just need 1, really, just for my 22
I'll
there.
bet you I've got a dozen doing nothing.
22 rifles, so you can stand it off, kind of a thing.
Yeah, because I noticed actually I picked it out of the safe one day, actually on the show, and the scope was loose in the rings. And the only thing I could think of was because it rests on the scope against the back of the thing there. And
no, that should be like tension or a Loctite or something like that.
Yeah, it actually didn't have any Loctite on it, so
that's your problem.
Yeah, I know that's Remington being cheap fucks.
Yeah, so I popped a bunch
of nail polish. Clear nail polish works perfect for that.
There we go. So I popped a bunch of these guys. That gave me a bunch more space, and then I got some of these guys here, and that goes on your top shelf, and then your pistol goes on there. You hang your pistol on the shelf.
Cool, yeah.
My dad put some elastic cord across the wall on the door, and he just puts holsters in the elastic cable there and hangs holsters off the thing. I'm going to probably do that on mine because I'm looking at buying some more handguns in my stack on. I'm going to drill a couple holes, tie some like twine through a holster, and hang it. I figure I can get about 3 on the door before it starts hitting the bottom of everything else I have there.
Well, you could fit a crap ton of pistols like on a shelf like that because this isn't steel. This is vinyl coated, right? So it's not going to like mark up the barrel or anything. You could fit a crap ton of pistols on a shelf like that, right?
Where did you get those?
What's the company that's making these things? Gun Storage Solutions out of the States.
Okay.
That's a good idea too. I've got the inside of my safe doors got like Velcro panels and pouches and holsters and stuff, and it works pretty good. But you really have to watch where you put those holsters. because if you get the handguns in the wrong spot when you're closing the door, they'll actually interfere with
Smash
the
them against.
shelves. You
Yeah.
end up smashing your guns into your shelf. So it's
Yeah,
actually kind of
that's-
a pain in the ass.
I'm
That's
kind
what I
of
found
pushing
a
all
lot
my guns
before.
into each other already.
Yeah, that's where I got a bunch more guns. I've actually got room for like 2-3 more guns in there, easy, just because I use these guys. And when you think about it, if you use the that rack there, you can fit one along the back, maybe one like resting in front, but you're going to get safe kisses on all your rifles because they're going to be banging around against each other. Whereas you use like these crappy little things here, that like my Costco safe has the carpet on the top. I didn't have to put any carpet. I just used the Velcro right there, and it just keeps them steady, right? So you can stack 3 deep in that stupid little safe and get a pile in there.
See, I'm getting nice safe kisses all over my military surplus stuff because I have my AR kind of jammed in the middle of all of them just to
Yeah,
try and
that's how
fit
mine
8
works,
guns in my 8-gun safe. Because you never fit 8 guns in an 8-gun safe, but I have 12.
Do your safes have any lighting at all?
No.
I
Okay,
got a little flashlight that I use for mine. But I mean, if I got safe kisses off this thing, everything turns white.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go grab something. I'll show you guys. I got
I ended up going to Home Depot and I got they're like a motion activated battery powered light. So when you open the door, they flip on for about 30 seconds. That actually works pretty good.
I've debated like stringing up LEDs and hooking up to a cheap like Arduino from China or some shit, but I'm just like, I don't really need that. So why would I bother?
I have a crappy Canadian Tire safe.
I got one of these little guys here. Just this little kind of flashlight.
Ah, Jesus, that's bright.
It is
Yeah.
for.
If I really need to look at things in my safe immediately, I'll just take my phone out and turn the light on it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an 8-gun. I mean, maybe if I had like a massive like fucking 22 gun or something like that, but like I got a 8-gun safe. I don't need a light.
Yeah, well, I got this guy at the what's that place you call it? That Swedish place with the oh my god,
IKEA?
Yeah,
IKEA?
yeah. And it's now this looks like double-sided tape. It does have double-sided tape on the back, but you don't really need to use it because it's actually a magnet underneath here, and it sticks to the top of the 8-gun and it lights it up pretty well.
Cool.
It's like just 3 LEDs on it basically, but it was like $5 or something. Another thing I've done actually is see if I can find it. Oh, still plugged in. Okay. I bought a bunch of these guys at the dollar store. I'm basically using this one for stationary, but they actually like stick to the side of the inside of the stack-on safe, and you can stick a bunch of mags in here. Like they fit magazines.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's just like some organization stuff basically.
I don't
This is-
bother
this
locking
is what
my mags,
those,
they just stick in my thing.
This is what those pistols hang like in the safe. So you can again fit just a bunch in there.
Just hang
That
it
actually
there.
might be too deep for my safe.
I could get a measuring tape out.
No, I
don't
think it
think
would
so.
fit the stack on. That should fit the stack on.
In the 8-gun?
I don't know if I have the 8 or the 12 or whatever the hell.
So I
Well,
got
it's
the
like-
8, and that looks like it's just a little bit too deep for me. I'm almost positive if I were to do that, I have to like have it in between rifles and stuff like that. Like that definitely would not be able to go against a rifle.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I have to put mine between rifles.
Yeah, because I actually took the cause you know how it comes with a shelf. I actually took my shelf off because I couldn't fit like my longer guns in there.
Oh no, I've left the shelf on because that's where all my pistols go on. I have all my pistols on the shelf, and now I'm going to be drilling holes in the panel on the front and hanging holsters off of like twine tied through there.
Run your shelf higher, like way higher, and run those hangers or whatever on them, and then you can fit like way more in there.
I don't really know if the stack on height is adjustable or not.
Anything is adjustable with a drill.
So, what other topics were there? I know I had another one, but does anyone else have a topic?
Hmm.
Kind of short on topics today.
Not really. I mean, I kind of want to get this gun out and shoot it, but I can't tonight. So.
Yeah. So the only other thing I could think of was opinions on cheap brands, basically, because I've decided I want a Wheelgat, but I'm broke as fuck because I'm so happy because I'm like literally wrote my last exam yesterday for my degree, so I'm going to be getting my nice diploma in sometime in the fall that says, hey, we think you're not stupid and you can engineering. So yay. But I think I need a gun to celebrate. So I want to get a Wheelgat, but I can't afford a real Wheelgat like a Smith & Wesson or a Ruger. So I was looking at like.
Okay, I'm gonna let you finish, but 1 second.
I'm gonna let you finish.
How good is the Adler? How good is the Adler, and can you sell it to finance a Wheelgat?
Well, considering that thing was only $350 to begin
Fake
with,
Adler.
and no, I don't want to sell anything. I don't sell guns. Guns come into my possession, and they don't leave unless they don't function.
Buddy, I was the same way, and when I had 3 870s, 2 1022s, 2 Mosins, and a collection of other assorted pieces of shit, I realized I had to get rid of a few of them.
And this is why I don't buy more than one of the same gun. But
But you could just sell a few of them.
I could, but I don't. Unless someone's going to offer me a really nice deal on something, and then maybe I'll consider selling it in the future. But no, so that's why, like, I was looking instead of like at a Smith or a Ruger, and definitely not a Colt, because like Pythons are fucking holy shit, or Manhurin.
The Python market is insane right now. Don't even look at that.
Pythons
hey, Mango, sell him your Wheelgat.
I am not going to sell my 686, but here's the thing. I actually have experience doing the exact same thing that you did. I'm still poor, but I was more poor a few years ago, or a year ago, I guess.
Dude, you just bought a $1,500
I was, like I said, I'm still poor. Like, that's why I'm poor.
I don't even have the money to be able to afford that rifle.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's like I actually purchased a shitty wheel gun a while ago. Well, it's not really shitty. It's the Alpha Proj.
Oh,
and it wasn't a good time for me.
Really?
Yeah, just because it's like I bought it. It was about 550 or something, and then like it wasn't fun. I shot it, but like I don't know, it did nothing for me, and I just thought I didn't like revolvers. And then I was poking around the EE, and I eventually found the 686 that I have. You guys probably saw it. It's that silver 6-inch thing. And it's amazing. I love the gun.
Oh yeah, those guns are so good.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes when you just buy a cheap, like I didn't even save that much money because I bought the Alpha Pro for like $550 or something, tax in, and it was brand new, of course. But then I bought the 686, and it was $650 on the EE. So you don't really save that much, but then you just end up getting a much better quality gun.
Yeah, because I know not to buy Taurus already when it comes to revolvers, but I was looking at like Llama or Astra.
Don't look at Llama. If you're not looking at Taurus, don't look at Llama.
That bad, Because I know they had shitty semis, but I didn't know about the quality of their revolvers.
The thing is, if you want to be a piggy, a guinea pig, and test out how shitty those shitty chippy ones are, fucking go right ahead. I mean, I spend my money on the Norincos, and I can tell you, yeah, they go boom, and then they might not.
I had a steel case. I was shooting steel case 223. I had one get jammed in my Norinco AR the other day, but I blame that.
How clean was your chamber?
Probably not very.
Okay, so I found the same thing, and I and a couple of buddies of mine were shooting that 223 steel case stuff, and we had jammed cases in the chambers. And as soon as we got chamber brushes for everyone, and we all religiously cleaned the chambers, we stopped having them. We stopped having jams.
It's literally the first time it's happened to me, but it just happened, and then I tried the next round, tried to feed, and I was wondering, I thought it just wasn't feeding, so I kept slamming it and slamming it and slamming it, and of course it impacts the thing there. It's halfway out of the magazine. I've got a fucking LAR mag, so I can't grab it to pull it out. So I've got this fucking mag jammed in this rifle that won't fucking come out. I try to figure out why, and finally I look down and realize there's a fucking round in the chamber still. So I have to like, with no grip, grab the LAR mag and like yank it the fuck out of the gun. And then I actually got the round out by just putting the bolt forward and yanking on it again. The extractor, I guess, just didn't grab properly the first time. I looked at the case, actually. It seemed like it sheared a little bit of it on the side, so I don't know what the hell happened. But the second time I put it in, it was tight coming out, but it came out, and it's the only problem I had all day with it. But yeah, so I know Norinco. Like, I got a Norinco AR. My dad's got a Norinco AR. I've managed to sell at least one of my coworkers on a Norinco 1911.
Crazy.
I know that.
You might have one to build from.
I know that those things work. They're just not pretty, but they work. But like that's why I was wondering, like about like
For all those troubles, I just gotta tell you, you clean your guns.
yeah, sometimes.
I sometimes clean them if they don't work. So I guess that's the same situation you're in.
That's like my Remington. I haven't cleaned that thing in 5 years. It still shoots.
Well, then why clean it? Why bother? Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I haven't
I
cleaned
always
my
clean my
yard.
guns.
I clean my stick
yard now.
sometimes just for the sake of it, but yeah, I don't.
Really?
The AR, I run a bore snake through it sometimes. Like I'll go just because it's easy.
Well, did you
Crazy.
see that lube guide that I posted? That ended up becoming the #3 top post on AR-15 because it launched into a discussion of should you lube your AR, and it ranged from yes, follow this guide, past that into dip your AR in lube, down to don't lube it at all. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Apparently, I think that, yeah.
I just rubbed everything with CLP on mine when I first got it, so
You don't
That's fine.
WD-40 your guns, just
nah.
Oh, I
just
WD-40
sprayed CLP on a patch and just rubbed it everywhere.
Sex lube.
sex lube. hey,
Oh, I can get a discount on that actually.
canola oil, you know, fire clean.
Also, canola
I got a
oil.
bunch of that fire clean.
I can actually get a discount on lube at the Stag Shop downtown because Ryerson Engineering bought so many dildos from the Stag Shop that they give Ryerson students a discount.
Oh my god.
I'm not kidding. There's this great thing they did during Frost Week called Dildo Dodgeball. So they walked into the Stag Shop and bought like 100 fucking dildos one day. And because of that, the Stag Shop downtown in Toronto gives Ryerson students a discount if they show their student card because Ryeng bought so many dildos.
That's a good deal.
I remember once getting into a fight with someone who had a dildo and I had a water pitcher in the bar as part of a game show. They just threw 2 dildos on the floor and said, fight. He picked up both of them, so I grabbed a water pitcher and just started fighting off the dildos until they broke the water pitcher. And they went, all right,
Quality entertainment, people. CanadaGuns.
you got no idea how hilarious. It's called the Nooner, and if you're ever in Toronto during like the last Thursday of any month during school sessions, the fucking Ram in the Rye pub at Ryerson, the engineers have this fucking shit, and it's the most hilarious shit. There's another one with the dildo. I remember they just gave a guy a dildo and just said earn points. Guy runs out the door of the fucking pub with a dildo in his hand, stops a couple on the street, shoves a dildo at them and says, slap me in the face with this as hard as you can. The chick grabs the dildo and smacks him across the face with it. He grabs it back and goes, thank you very much, and runs back inside.
Seems like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, really, to slap someone in the face with a dildo.
I think you sold me as soon as you said dildo.
I've gotten to experience this shit for the last 5 years. It's hilarious. They do shit like snort hot sauce off a dude's chests and fucking...
Yeah, right. It was his chest. Yeah, right.
Crazy. If you wear a
Nervous
ball,
laughter. Nervous
you
laughter.
go all the way, and you're
Nervous laughter. So how was the show so far, boys?
Pretty
Off the
good.
rails as usual.
The usual. All right.
Amazing.
Actually, I'm not yet driving around
I
yet.
think Andrew is attempting to say something.
Can you not hear me?
No,
Yeah.
you're really quiet because you're trying not to wake your parents up.
Yeah, more or less. Okay.
What's up, baby?
I said Crazy should go all the way. If he wants to get a revolver, he should just get a Smith & Wesson Governor.
I got a shotgun. You want to buy it, Andrew?
No,
$870.
Oh wait, which one of you are you selling, Adriel?
The I only have one 870.
Is it the one with all the rifle stuff on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
It's
gun.
old. It's super old. The wood on it was all like ratched. I sold it to some guy because he wanted some wood shit for it for his shotgun, but Yeah, it's just Magpul's shit on there, and.
You operate with it yet?
Oh yeah, I've done 3-gun with it.
Sweet.
Fucking sweet for there's one target called the Whirligig or a Texas Star that's got 5 targets on it, and with that shotgun I can load up to 11, so I can do on some stages we had 2 of those, so I could do both of them in one mag and just destroy everyone else. Because if you're running a semi-auto, you got to do at least 1 reload in there, and whereas that pump would just run it in 1 shot. So.
See, that sounds to me like a good alternative for that the SAP 9 or SAP 6 with the 11-round stick mags.
Yeah, there's been a couple of guys that have tried the SAP 6s and they don't do very well. All the like so-called cheater guns, those guys don't do well. The UTAS, the Keltec, the SAP 6, they're all not doing that well.
Oh, we'll see how lever actions perform in the coming days. Months, whatever.
Okay, looks like I have to help out. See you guys later. I'll be back in a bit.
But
Later.
Have fun.
Yeah, I mean, with manual operated, you got way more capacity, so you can just go longer without reloading, right?
I don't know if anybody heard me before, but what I said was crazy. You should just go all the way and buy a Governor. Just, go
no,
full shot.
I don't want a Taurus Judge or a Smith & Wesson Judge. I want a 357.
Come on, man! You gotta get real ammo in that.
I want a 357.
Buy a 686.
The only thing is, ideally, I actually want a Model 27 because I like the aesthetics of a half lug better than the full lug.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I've shot
It's
both.
just I can't afford a Model 27. So that's why I was looking at like the Lama Comanche 3 because I saw one for sale in Peterborough, which is like an hour and a half away from here. But the problem is it's also an hour and a half away from here. I don't really want to go there and look at some cheap Spanish revolver just to decide it's a pile of shit. I know I was looking at Astra, and they're apparently pretty decent, actually.
Astra?
Yeah, I looked up a bunch of reviews for Astra when I saw one on the EE and mistakenly thought it wasn't already sold, and realized that people were actually saying some pretty good things about Astras given their price. The only problem is the guy already sold it, so I fucked on that. But like with Llama, I know like Llama and Astra had like hit and misses with their semis, but I was just mostly curious in the revolver. I know people talk about the lockup of the cylinder, whether it wiggles a bunch when you cock it back there to make sure it's not going to shave shit on the side, the timing on that, sorry. And I know that's shit you'd have to really check in person just to be sure, but I mean, it's a fucking hour and a half away.
Now, what's your budget looking like?
Literally, at the moment, anything under $500, that's $357, which is why it prices me out of the range of most Smith & Wessons.
Well, you add about $150 to that, and you got yourself a.
I know, that's why I'm debating just waiting a little bit
Yeah.
until I get a couple more paychecks and shit, and putting myself into used Smith territory.
Yeah, because that's what I would do. Because I mean, yeah, because like I said, I did the exact same thing as you want to do, except like that was like a year ago, and I was very unhappy with my revolver.
Yeah, I know when I ask on like general places, people keep saying, "Oh, buy the Ruger Security 6," and I go, "Yeah, it'd be great if we could buy 4-inch barreled guns in Canada, but you know, we can't." Because like all of the Security 6s pretty much are 4-inch barrels, and they cost like $350, but they're illegal.
Barrel length on pistols in Canada.
Barrel length on pistols in Canada, minimum barrel length is 106 millimeters, which is basically 4.2 inches. 4 inches is 102 millimeters. And yes, the law is deliberately designed to exclude 4-inch barreled pistols.
Just unscrew your barrel a little bit.
So pointless. That's
That's
stupid.
the height of
law.
safety right there. Unscrew your barrel a little bit.
Get a Rhino.
No, I've heard bad things about the Rhino. I got a buddy who fucking loves the thing because it almost has no kick because it goes straight up your arm because the barrel's down here. But I've heard they are a mess of intricate parts and they are unreliable as fuck.
Well, revolvers generally are the same way too. I mean, you look inside and it's like a big bass. But the Rhino's actually looks like a Swiss watch.
Yeah, but the Rhino, yeah, exactly. So it's got so many little tiny parts there, and I hear that like they're much more prone to breaking down and like almost impossible for you to figure out how the hell to try and fix it. I mean, I've fixed a pocket watch before, but I'd rather not try and go through that again with one of my guns. That was not a fun experience.
Janitor is just really staring intently into his pistol. He's just really focused on whatever he's doing.
Yeah, he's just playing with it. This first single double action I've had, so weirds me out when the trigger moves.
You were just there looking at this.
You have?
It looks like a CZ.
Yeah, it is. It's the Shadow.
Oh, nice. The Canadian one? That's special?
No, it's just the SPO one.
So it's not a CZ. It's just a CZ.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Whatever. It's no good.
I'm just kind of bored and been playing with my Tokarev, and there's some things that actually I didn't learn about this until my friends fucked around with it. One thing that I did learn actually by accident is this has a safety, kind of a half cock there. You cock it just a little bit, and the barrel actually locks shut. You cannot work the barrel until you cock the gun back the whole way. The other thing is usually when you've got I find with mine, when the slide's all the way back, you cannot just drop the thing there without taking the mag out unless you pull the slide back a little bit and then it allows it to come down.
It's pretty cool. See,
That's
one thing
just
about...
two little things I learned about this.
I don't have any safeties on my gun. All I have is a decock, slide release, and the thing to let the slide off.
That's how my Smith and Wesson, or my SIG, sorry, that's how my SIG works, and that's all I'd ever have. That's all you ever need.
I'm a huge fan of the CZ series, but I refuse to ever shoot them because I know after I do, I will never shoot my SIG again.
I've only been running mine for about a month, and I like it, but it's still like it can't compete with a 1911 trigger as far as I'm concerned.
No, yeah, you're completely right. But then like in terms if you're like looking at like IPSC or whatever, in terms of production class, it is probably the best trigger you can get.
Oh, I agree. The other thing too is I went out last night with the Kimber and with the CZ, and I lost only one piece of brass for my 45 ACP, and I was just pissed off because that brass is expensive. Whereas with the CZ, you know, I found more 9mm brass than I came with. So.
Yeah, well, I lost my Swiss brass before, one shot. That sucks.
With bolt actions, I'm always really careful to
so
find
mad.
the brass.
I looked everywhere too, and I couldn't find it. It was at Silverdale, so somebody lucky picked that up. It was nice. It was like new.
I shot a CZ at the range, and it was a rental one, and I don't know if theirs was just bad, but I mean I didn't think it was the best thing ever or anything. I thought it was decent. You know, it didn't blow me away or anything though.
Honestly, I love FN guns for a while, and I probably won't move from FN for modern guns. They make really nice guns.
You're gonna go buy an FN FS 2000 for coyote hunting then?
I wish. I can't even find any of those. I want one. It's still bad.
Stopped importing them. I think FN stopped making them.
Yeah, they did. The only thing you buy is the FN P90. It blows like, what, over $2,000?
Yeah, and they shoot the 5.7 cartridge, which is fucking
expensive as hell. Yeah, that kind of sucks.
And then there's the 5.7 pistol, which shoots the same thing, but its only real advantage was the fact that it had a 20-round mag, which, welcome to Canada!
Yeah, no, 10 round. Yeah, but this gun's supposed to have like a 17 round, isn't it? Or 15 round FMP.
Usually it's 15 or 16 for a lot of those ones.
Except for the FNS. The FNS 40 mags are dimpled on the inside, so a 9mm fits 17. The 40 cal FN9 will fit 17 9mm in it.
You need to find one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking just to get the Smith & Wesson for the 40 cal mags, thinking I'd get those and then buy the FNS 9 after. And those mags, I think a lot of guys must know about that. I can't find them in stock anywhere. I actually considered just buying. Yeah, I considered buying the FNS 9 and the FNS 40 just to have the 40 mags and chuck that gun just in the safe and never use it again.
They're nice handguns though. You should use them. Really good.
Does anyone know if 40 cal mags will fit in a 9mm SIG?
Yes, 13 plus 1.
Excellent. And Do you know if the 40 cal upper works on a 9mm SIG?
Yes, it is the exact same.
Perfect, because honestly that was one of the things I was thinking of doing also, is getting the 40 cal kit for my SIG and a 357 SIG barrel, and then 40 cal mags for it just to fuck around with. That way I have one gun and 4 calibers.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Question. Does anybody know where you can get those mags for the Archangel Nomad stock for the 1022? You know, the one that looks like the G36 I was discussing in the pre-show?
Mag? I've seen them, but I don't know where they get them.
I don't know. I think any Archangel retailer should be able to order them in from the distributor, but because I've never seen them sold separately.
Okay,
I know they come with the stock.
You see, I thought about buying that because I've always wanted a H&K.
HK. I mean, from what I understand about it, oh my god, it's a USC 40. I didn't even realize they had any of these in Canada.
Yeah, that's like the only one I found.
But the problem with HK is I'm pretty sure their mentality towards civilian market is you suck and we hate you.
Yes. The problem with the USC a lot of people were having is basically cracked receivers and stuff.
Okay.
It's mainly a polymer gun, so it's like...
H&K, Caltech, same thing.
Yeah.
See, there's the FN P90 is $3,000.
I actually saw a FS 2000 or whatever.
Where?
On the equipment exchange. It was like 2000 something, but it was pretty much brand new. It came with a box as well, and I really like that gun because it looks like a stupid boat.
I want one so bad.
It looks like a boat.
And does anybody have any experience? Sorry. Does anybody have any experience with Kelly's online, like Kelly's Sporting Goods?
Yeah, I bought my Tavor from them. They were awesome, start to finish.
Yep, I bought something.
Price I could find in Canada too.
They have really good prices because, like, apparently they're like in the middle of nowhere or something, so they don't pay rent.
That's the cheapest
they're
price I
out
could
in like
find for
shit.
the Nomad stock. So it's $250. So that's good. That's good to hear.
I remember they had the cheapest prices for Scorpions for a while when I was debating buying one of them.
Yeah, I saw one of those too, but I was like,
it's mostly just because I have a 380 pistol. I'm like, maybe I should get another 380 gun just so I don't have one more gun in its only caliber. But now I decided, no, I've ever since I bought my Smith & Wesson, or my mind's all fucked. I don't have any alcohol in me, that's the problem. Ever since I bought my SIG, I debated, like when I got my SIG, between buying a SIG or a Smith & Wesson. And I'm just like, the SIG's going to be more practical for if I get into competitive shooting in the future, so I bought the SIG. And ever since then, I've just still been going, I want a 357. So that's why I've decided now the next one's going to be a wheel gun, because I can't buy any more long guns at all. But that's what I've decided, and so now that's why I'm looking at getting one of them.
Yeah, I want to buy a wheel gun too, one next, but I want like a Webley, World War II Webley.
I've debated that because, like I said, I came into some 38 Smith & Wesson, and when I looked at this, I'm like, I could go and buy an Enfield revolver for like $300, but then I'm shooting 38 Smith & Wesson, which is harder to find, and I mean, it's historic, but
yeah, I don't know, I want one of those. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, stay tuned. Actually, I'm gonna be running revolver for the first time in an IPSC match next Saturday. We'll see how that ends up. It will probably be a disaster, and I'm going to hold up every single squad, but I think it's going to be fun.
Tell us about it on the next talk show.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, yeah.
How many speed loaders do you have?
Pardon me?
How many speed loaders are you planning on running?
6, so I have to not miss.
Can you tell me what IPSC is? I'm not familiar.
International Practical Shooting Confederation is probably the most popular handgun shooting sport in Canada.
Okay,
the
what is
U.S.
it?
has USPSA.
IDPA.
Yeah, so they have all handgun shooting sports, like all like double action and revolver and stuff.
So the way it works is actually this is a good topic actually. The way it works is there's different classes. You have to get something called it's the IPSC black badge. You have to get that first before you're basically allowed to compete in any IPSC match. Basically your holster qualification. You take a course and then you do a practical course of fire basically Then you get certified for your black badge, and then you go to any IPSC qualifier, and you shoot your first match. And if you do not get disqualified, you will move on and officially get your black badge, and then you can compete with no restrictions.
So I'm guessing you did at Silverdale.
Pardon me?
Silverdale has
Yeah, you can do it at Silverdale. I think Urban Tactical might do some too.
I don't like
'Cause
Urban
Urban Tacticals, they've got their whole action range on the side there.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't like Urban Tactical though.
So yeah, people like start getting like really crazy with their rigs and stuff. Like you got these people running like $10,000 1911s, really cool looking
I'm happy
holsters
with
and
my
No, I
FMD.
take it they're running that in free division.
stuff. Yeah, that's called
Open.
open division, and then yeah, basically it's like racing. You separate people into classes based on both their skill level and experience, and also what kind of gun they're shooting. For example, if you want to shoot a gun with like no modifications and you want to like straight out of a box, you'd be shooting production. So you'll find most of your common guns there, like SIG. Basically, everybody shoots a CZ, blocks, M&Ps. Basically,
So-
anybody who wants to get into the game without modifying their gun is going to shoot.
Now, factory mods are okay. Like if I were to put an SRT on my SIG, would that still be okay for production?
Yes, basically anything that's in production, anything that's in a factory-made gun on the production gun list. So you can't get like an X5, friggin' master shop, whatever mods onto it.
So like
but-
mine be perfect. Mine's all stock.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yours would be
Yeah.
perfect.
So my P226 is the Enhanced Elite, and that's an approved gun for production. So I have the SRT on it. I have the night sights. I can actually go get the TAC Ops grips, which adds the magwell on the bottom end. Those are that's production legal.
There's a bunch of like I'm gonna call them cheater guns for IPSC production that you can get. That don't really, because I mean the idea with production is that like you've got your Glock 17s and your basic cop and military handguns,
Yeah.
and then you've got ones that aren't.
Well, the X5, there's only one SIG model that's actually approved for production. It's the X5 all around. That one's got a 5-inch barrel and it's kind of cheap.
Isn't there a tank Foglio that's legal for production?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
me pull up
Extrema, 2 Extreme or something like that.
Oh, there's I saw this guy actually 2 shoots ago. He had a really cool gun. I think it's called the Grand Power X Factor or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
K100, right?
It's super cool. I really like that gun.
I know that the CZ SP01 was basically made for IPSC,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've heard the same claim about the Baikal Viking. The steel frame Baikal Viking people, at least the importer Interammo, claimed it was made with IPSC in mind, but I'm not really sure on the validity of that claim.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at this actually.
Yeah, can you give me a link or give us a link of the gun you're talking about? That one you said you really liked, the X Factor or whatever.
Oh yeah, sure.
Appreciate it.
Excalibur, sorry, it's called.
Yeah.
It's got like a really cool ported slide on it, because you're not allowed ported barrels, but ported slides are okay because it's just a weight reduction, I guess. But this thing's production legal, and it's just super cool gun.
Yeah, it's pretty good looking.
The
Yeah.
barrel of the MP446 was intentionally weakened to prevent safe use of high-powered, armor-piercing military rounds or civilian plus P or plus P plus cartridges. Wow.
That's probably some bullshit that they had to put in because of their host country laws or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
it's the
Okay.
Russian firearms laws,
Here.
I think.
I'm seeing the MP446C variant is specifically made according to the requirements of IPSC,
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
according to Wikipedia at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, even if you're designing a gun to meet the requirements of IPSC, it's like, I don't know, because like CZ modified their SP01 to basically be allowed to be shot in IPSC production, and it's just so nice, right? But then like the MP446 wasn't originally built for that, so I don't know. It's pretty. But like, there's some really weird guns on here that I've like never seen before in my life. I'm looking at the IPSC production list. I'll bring it up actually.
IPSC production division list.
What's weird and expensive? Let's see.
Alpha Proj Alpha Combat.
Yeah, because like IPSC's international, so like you got a bunch of weird ass companies.
Yeah,
What the fuck
go
is
take a look at the
Argus?
Tankfoglio Stock 3. It's $2,000, and it is not a production. Like, it is not meeting with the other ones here. I think the spirit of production should be like combat pistols and cop pistols and that kind of thing. And the Stock 3 is a gamer pistol.
Well, you can kind of say the same thing for the P226 X5 all around.
Yeah. Or anything made by
You
STI.
can shoot IPSC with a Walther P38.
You can shoot IPS as like main thing with all of
Service
these
pistol.
competitions is like safety, right? So you can shoot it with like pretty much anything you want. Well, except like, well, I just said that, but then apparently Taurus is on the approved list. So take that with a grain of salt.
Which Tankfolio?
Stock 3. Take a look at that one.
Okay.
Stock 3
Another-
Extreme.
Man, the PPK isn't approved for IPSC. Yeah, there's Taurus. Man.
See, the thing with the Taurus gun is, all right, if you're shooting, you don't even need to pull the trigger. You just shake the gun.
I've seen that. I've seen
You
that.
just shake the gun and you can hit all the targets.
Oh, there's another one that shouldn't really be approved. The Sphinx series of pistols. Those guys are those guys are basically based on the CZ design, except they're like custom guns.
Something like that.
Yeah. So you got the same low slide, but then it's like everything's like polished to a T.
Not approved P320 target due to unavailability for inspection in early 2016.
Yeah. If it hasn't been made, because it was probably on like the list, but then like if it wasn't provided to the IPSC rules people, then they can't really put it on the production approved list.
I take it though, 127 millimeters is a 6-inch long barrel.
No, I think that might be 5.
Yeah, it would be 5.
Because I don't think there's a gun that's longer there's a barrel that's longer than 5 inches in the production list.
Yeah, that's 5 inches.
Yeah.
There's not too many revolvers you see that are 5. There are either 4 or 6 usually, or 4.2 for Canada at least. So
Yeah.
what about PPC? I know PPC is specifically oriented around revolvers.
PPC is fun. I shot I didn't shoot a match. I shot like a practice thing 2 weeks ago. Apparently, I can't hit shit. But PPC is mainly based around like police shooting, so it's quite boring.
I see they've got Manurhin
Gotta shoot
approved
dogs
the
and,
3-inch and 4-inch revolvers.
Minorities, and it's not really about like accuracy at all.
No. It's about like telling people to stop resisting. And
Stop resisting! I will shoot your dog right now.
yeah, they changed the official PPC targets to like be shaped like canines. No, I'm just kidding about that. But canine silhouettes.
They've got stages with guys up on awnings and stuff that you have to shoot down.
So do you have to... Never mind. It's a stupid question to ask.
Go ahead. Just ask it.
No,
anyway.
for that, I was going to say, do you have to yell "stop resisting" before shooting any of them?
No. So you yell "stop resisting," then you draw your firearm, and then you have to shout, "He's going for my gun."
What is this,
got a
South
gun.
Park? He's coming right for us! Boom, boom, boom!
Well, since I'm just on the Wikipedia page for PPC right now, and Canada is like the primary nation on here, so I think it must be like a Canada. It says Canada, Norway, South Africa, and the U.S. So
My understanding was it was invented in the U.S. for practice with revolvers for police carry.
are we really crazy about it out here?
Okay, well, PPC it's a strange thing. Just because the way it's shot is very similar to basically any law enforcement course of fire you're going to find. So you're basically standing in a line and then drawing and firing at a target and then moving up or down and then firing.
Here we are. It was founded in the U.S. between 57 and 58 to help police officers improve their firearm skills.
It's been less common up here now after like everybody started complaining about like police shooting too many people. Because like I mean, I remember a while ago, like all the police, a lot of police forces across the country actually had competition teams that they would go shoot like IPSC, they would go shoot PPC, and then it's in the World Police and Fire games. Like there's there's basically an IPSC competition and then there's a PPC competition. But then like the RCMP no longer has a competition team, and it's like down to the municipals, and a lot of them don't do it just because like they don't want the media freaking out.
Well, I'd much rather our cops did more training, because I mean it doesn't help us all the time, but
yeah,
I'd much rather they be familiar with their firearms and better able to respond to threats.
I mean, like a lot of people like us who actually know about guns do, but I guess the main thing is like even if you're like, for example, let's say you're a cop and then you love shooting, you do like all the competitions and stuff, and then like in the worst case scenario happens and you have to draw and fire your duty firearm at somebody, then like then the media turns around and be like, oh, this guy like goes shooting every weekend, he must love shooting, blah blah blah, he just killed a minority, and then like you just get basically shafted by the media for doing nothing.
Yeah,
and it's a huge concern, and it's actually like a huge officer safety thing too, because like cops are now having to like question themselves whether or not they should defend themselves.
Ridiculous.
Out of fear of losing their job.
It doesn't make you invincible either. I mean, the Bork in what was that, Moncton? One of the officers he shot was an avid IPSC shooter and a good IPSC shooter, and you know, it just doesn't matter. I mean, rifle versus pistol, you're going to lose, even if you are an IPSC, you know, national shooter.
Yeah, you're going to lose, especially if somebody can get the jump on you like that, right? Like he's in the forest, like in the woods with like a rifle. You can't really do anything about that, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
What I was going to say earlier, and it's a little less serious than this, but when Crazy said, do you have to yell stop resisting first with the target? I was going to say, no, you just have to sprinkle some crack on them afterwards.
No, you plant your taser on it. That's what you do.
There you go. You plant your taser and you burn the body cam.
It came off in the struggle, I swear.
I went for my body cam
and deleted. It was weird.
Oh my.
I always wonder how much of a shit fit it would cause if someone were to take a handful of brass and throw it in an intersection in the middle of Toronto.
You could try.
Didn't you talk about that a couple weeks ago?
I probably did. It's probably going to get you criminal mischief if you get caught doing it, so I'm not going to, but...
They shut down an entire apartment block in, I think it was Victoria, when somebody found a .22 LR casing.
I got those rattling out of my car. What happens if I like get out of my car and they just sweep some out accidentally?
I heard
you go to jail,
in Ontario
That thing
as
opens
well.
his car door like 308 shells just rolling out of it.
Into downtown Edmonton, just shit, no, I can't get them all.
Yeah, I heard an Ontario government building got shut down because they found a .44 Magnum round in one of the buildings. I'm like, all right, who didn't check their pockets after coming back from fucking the range?
Yeah, Hunting gets out of his car and it's like, you know those pranks you see ping pong balls in people's cars. He opens the door, just floats out.
I feel like that sometimes when I open my trunk, to be honest.
I've got 9mm cases rolling around my trunk, and they're just like below the spare tire, and I see them every time. I pop open my trunk to get something. I was like, I'm not gonna get them now.
Don't drive around in Maryland, because you will probably go to jail. Casings are considered like an improper storage or whatever, and then you go to jail in the States. And there's no time for anybody.
Maryland's one of those fucking states.
In New York, if you own a caliber, like you own a casing from a caliber of gun you do not own, you go to jail for having an illegal firearm. Because it's assumed that if you have the casing, you've shot the gun, and you only could have shot the gun if you own it and don't actually legally own it.
Oh, I got so many that I don't own.
Mm-hmm.
I still have 6.5 Japanese ammo from when I used to have one, but don't anymore. I've got .380 revolver ammo, and I don't have one of those. What else don't? What else?
You sure
do I
it's
have
not like if you have a casing for a prohibited caliber? Or?
No,
I don't think there's such things as prohibited calibers in New York.
I'm reasonably sure that if you go to a gun range and you bring home casings, that you can get in a lot of trouble. Let me look it up.
Anyways, I go to bed. Good night.
Good night.
Later. Yeah, I mean, I've got ammo that I don't even have a rifle for. I just recently made up some 4570 because I had some extra bullets just kind of hanging around, and I don't have a 4570. I just had some bullets, some cases, so I'm just like, wow, I'll make some. So I got a box of them. Now I have an excuse to buy the rifle.
There you
Exactly,
go.
the golden rule of gun it.
Yeah. I got a whole bunch of 338 Win that I don't even know where it came from. But, I don't know.
I think we have 270 brass around somewhere. I got dies for 375 H&H. That's if I'm ever going to have one of those.
Nice.
What's
That's
really
classy.
cool? I was actually looking at some of the American laws. Apparently, as a Canadian, if you fill out an ATF Form 6, which is the form for importing firearms and ammunition into the States, if you go to a state that doesn't basically have any problems with open carry, you are legally allowed to open carry as a Canadian in the States.
Wow.
You can fill out your concealed carry paperwork for New Hampshire, and you're allowed to concealed carry in all of the constitutional concealed carry states.
Yeah,
Will they grant you a NH concealed carry permit?
They will. They will
Oh, yeah.
grant. They can actually consider
Yep.
your authorization to transport to be a valid carry training certificate for reciprocity in New Hampshire. So you can show them
And
your
having
firearm.
the concealed carry
them your
permit gives you a reason to bring your handguns across the border as well.
Yeah.
Well,
But you
'cause I
don't
know-
actually need a reason anymore.
Okay.
They've ruled the ATF. It used to be you needed either a invitation to a
Yeah.
club or a hunting permit. The ATF ruled recently if you do not require a visa to enter the U.S., you don't need either of those, and Canadians don't need a visa for 6 months.
Yes.
To stay in the U.S. And
Yeah,
people on CGN have actually done this. They filled out the ATF Form 6, went to the border went, okay, have fun shooting. They
Yeah,
didn't
well,
care.
I have my Form 6 done from competition shooting and stuff, so like I never really had to go through any of that stuff because I had the invitation and stuff. But
Yeah, but
So-
apparently you don't need it anymore. It was a ruling a couple of years ago they made on
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I heard about the New Hampshire carry, and yeah, a lot of the constitutional carry states will. A couple of other states will. There's
Utah.
some states that will do reciprocity if you have New Hampshire carry but don't live in New Hampshire.
Right.
A lot of states will only do New Hampshire carry reciprocity if you also live in New Hampshire. And I actually looked into this because I got some buddies in Michigan and I was thinking of visiting them.
Yeah.
And I found out that Michigan only does reciprocity for New Hampshire if you live in the state of New Hampshire and have the carry permit. They will not do reciprocity if you are a non-resident in New Hampshire with a New Hampshire carry permit.
Yeah, one of my buddies.
There was a
from
big
that,
list of them all on
podcast
the post I found.
Did open carry in Utah. So it's possible. Canadians can do it.
that's pretty cool.
Well, you can technically get a carry permit for up in Canada, but it's not like they're going to get it.
Yeah.
We talked
Technically a
to
thing.
one guy who got the ATC, and he was basically working in northern Alberta.
Oh, it's the Wilderness ATC, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it is possible. It's just I'm never going to get one, and I don't know if you guys are going to ever get one, right?
Was that the
Yeah, I
guy
got-
in Saskatoon? I thought I seen an article or something on that.
Oh, let me pull it up
Or
here.
a similar thing.
Wilderness carry is a bit more easy to get compared to the hard one that everyone always talks about for ATC that would reciprocate, that would be like in the U.S. is people refer to it as ATC 3, authorization to carry where police protection is insufficient for the protection of life. And from what I understand, less than 100 of these have been issued across the entire country, and they're almost all issued to former undercover police officers.
Yeah, who are basically in doing gang stuff.
For fear of retaliation from the
I
people.
think it'd be nice if they allowed you to get like a temporary ATC. So you'd be like, I'm going bow hunting out in the bear country at this time for these amount of days, and they give you an ATC for that.
I just wish you could just bush carry. I just wish you could do that.
Yeah,
Well,
me too.
I mean, that would be the dream, but
There's people who buy a fucking Webley Mark 1 because it's antique. They buy a 45 ACP cylinder for the fucking thing and go shoot fucking. They strap it because it's an antique. Anywhere you can shoot a non-restricted, you can shoot it. So they go and fucking carry when they're out hunting with a antique strapped on their hip there.
If you're out in the middle of nowhere, who cares?
I've known someone who's old enough to have hunted gopher with a Lewis machine gun in Canada legally. And he's the kind of guy who just does not give a fuck. He'll go up to his farm and shoot his handguns. He doesn't give a shit.
Well, I took my firearms course, and the guy we were getting instructed by was talking about how he has a bolt-action pistol, And somebody asked why you have a bolt-action pistol. He goes, because it's the only handgun you can shoot a gopher at 200 yards. And then somebody else in the class, he's like, yeah, but on a gun range, right? He's like, yes, it was on a gun range.
Well, here's the thing. There's actually the argument, and it hasn't been proven in court, and I don't think anybody wants to try. But are you really discharging? Because I don't remember reading the Firearms Act, and I don't recall it in detail right now. But discharging a restricted firearm, you can only does it say anything about you're only allowed to discharge them on a range?
As far as I understand, yes, you're only allowed to discharge a restricted firearm on an approved range.
Yeah. And the ATT is funny too. Like, in order to get out in the middle of nowhere to shoot your gun, you're violating your ATT anyway. So.
Yeah, well, unless you had like a shit ton of property.
Well, that's what I've wondered. I've never bothered to mess around with it because the consequences aren't worth it.
No,
Yeah,
if you've got the property, you make yourself a private range.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm trying to find out if there's anything. No, there have been people who had the property and gotten approved for restricted range on their property. So
how hard is that? Like, doesn't that have to be an approved range and shit?
Yes, it has to be an approved range under Section 29. Yeah. I just know the term is Section 29 approved range, so I don't know if that's of the Firearms Act.
Like,
I'm going to one in a month.
Depends which province. Depends which province you live in. Like Ontario would probably never do it, but like BC, Alberta.
No, people who live in Northern Ontario, they do get.
Yeah,
they get approved ranges. You just got to be far enough up somewhere.
I thought the CFO was
Northern Ontario is like fucking wild country.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're up in fucking Northern Ontario, the CFO would probably just like give you the approval because he doesn't want to go up there and inspect it.
And in Alberta here, we've got them. I mean, we've I got a pistol course coming up here in August 6th or 16th or something like that. That's on a private range, and I talked to the guy. I'm like, "Well, how did you even get this?" And he made it sound super easy. He said, "Yeah, we got the CFO out here. We said, yeah, here's what we're gonna do. We got a ravine. There's like, we don't need berms. It's a ravine. We've got lots of room in here."
Yeah, it's not hard as long as you have the property for it and you're not in a like no discharge zone.
Yeah, municipality where they might
gravel
be
pit approved as a range. That'd be awesome.
It'd be sweet.
If I ever got property, I would totally do that.
I mean, the biggest dream for anyone would be having a approved range in their basement, but
no. Now, technically, the CFO wouldn't really care. That would be the municipality's problem because you have to get a visa for commercial use.
That's your permit. You don't need a commercial if you're doing private, but you need your municipality to approve it, and you need the CFO to come take a look for safety reasons.
And you also need the neighbors to approve it, which is never.
And considering in the city of Toronto, it's literally impossible now. The dream is dead.
Well, if they just allow us to have suppressors, I mean, or no, firearm-mounted hearing protection devices.
There we go. I got a question for you guys. I'm gonna go shoot some gophers this weekend, and I've got 2 rifles that I could use, and I want your opinion on which one I should take out. So one of them, I'm a purist. One of them is a 22. It's a bolt-action 22 with a super heavy barrel. This is a Noriko NS522. It is accurate as shit. 5-round mags, 22. It's got just the lightest trigger ever on it because I've modded it to half a pound. Sorry, not half an ounce, half a pound. The other one is a 17 HMR. Savage, yep. This is their BVTS. Very nice, but it shoots 17 HMR, which costs like a shitload, and this is a lot heavier as well.
You wait for them to stand up with the 17, and you shoot them in the feet, and see how many times you can get them to flip.
So vote, like which one should I take out, the 17 or the 22? So I'm gonna try to get some slow-mo video of them like blowing up and stuff if I can.
Go for flipping head over head. Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna say the 17.
I usually go for my 17.
Take your Canadian-made rifle and go shoot some gophers.
There we go.
Yeah,
what I like about the 17 is that the 22, a lot of times I'll find one at like 200 yards and I'll try and hit them anyways, and sometimes you get close. With the 17, it doesn't matter. You'll hit them every time.
Yeah, they're super duper accurate.
Laser. It's a laser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well that does it then.
Just don't let it
17.
get caught by the wind or it's fucking gone.
Yeah, I'll bring it out. I just gotta find somewhere that's got some ammo for it that isn't like an arm and a leg.
Well, it usually costs about the same as 9mm, doesn't it?
I thought it was pretty cheap. I know Pud's got a ton of it, and I thought it was really good.
I've been finding $15 to $18 per 50, which is about the same as 9mm, I guess.
So.
Oh, yeah, it was more than that for my 22 mag.
So.
Fucking.
Do we have any more topics?
Actually,
No, but
I was
we're
hoping
closing
I
in on
could,
2 hours here. But yeah, go ahead.
Any of you guys have any experience with the NAA 15s?
Personal experience, no, but I've heard things.
I heard
Okay.
Gen 2 was okay, but Gen 1 was pretty shit.
Yeah.
I've only seen Gen 2s lately, so.
That's what I've heard as well. Is that the first generation they, as a new machine shop producing ARs, they had some issues with them, but have since resolved a lot of those, and now the new ones are pretty good.
Yeah, because they're like CCS or whatever, like the really fucking tiny ass PDW ones look fucking cool. They're like $1,300 on Canada Ammo.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what do you
I'm
need
a-
a 7.5-inch barrel on a 2?
I'm a big fan of the stock itself, just not the entire gun in its entirety.
My only thing is I look at the PDWs and I think you got a 7.5-inch barrel on 223. What are you going to do with that?
Well, you can rebarrel it to like a 9mm.
I was gonna say with
Get
that
done by
7.5.
39 too.
I was gonna say that the 7.62 by 39 is what I go with the 7.5.
Oh shit! Oh, with like a nice big break on it. That'd be really cool.
I don't know, something about them I like. I've actually heard that's the only other thing I'd add to the NEA is I've heard several guys say they do a really good job with their 7.62. Apparently they beef up a couple parts. Some guys don't.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they're really cool.
Oh, nice. I was thinking about just getting like a PDW and 223 and then getting a 7.5 or 7.62 upper and throw it on there and just swap it between the two. Just be cool to play around with that fucking like tiny ass gun, you know what I mean?
I really like that CCS they've got as well. Same idea, a little bit different buttstock, but
Yeah, like that's the one I was going to use.
yeah.
It doesn't really matter with the proprietary bolt if you buy the uppers for it, kind of thing. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any topics? We're just kind of closing in on 2 hours here.
I was going to go through the top posts of the week like we usually do here.
All right.
So the top one from the last week is a video, Who Needs an AR-15? I think that was put up by Rod from Civil
that's Rod's.
Advantage and the CCFR there, and I didn't actually watch it because I'm lazy and don't watch YouTube videos.
He was,
it was alright.
what was interesting, he took a fact-based approach to it, and most people who responded on Reddit were a little bit more direct about it. But like he gave a lot of like really logical arguments to it, and logic has its place, and a lot of times when you're arguing with people about AR-15s, people aren't really logical about it, right? So some people said like "fuck you, I want to," and that's valid. But I think that he had some really good points in terms of like, well, I mean, you don't really need like a Lamborghini on the road, but yet here they are, you know, cars that have 600, 700 horsepower, and they're street legal, and why not have guns that are street legal as well? It's a group of enthusiasts that go do their own thing, so who cares, right?
Yeah, I think like the entire point of his video was trying to skew away from that whole "fuck you, I want it anyways" kind of argument.
Yeah, that's what Rod was trying to do with it. It's just more logic.
Yeah.
Next post was a picture of a shitload of magazines thrown about in a room, and the title was 5-round mags in a nutshell.
Super
I
basic.
saw that.
Well, they're all AR mags. I don't know why you bought so many 5-round AR mags. At least buy like LAR-15s or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those aren't his, right? That was just a shit post, I
that's
think.
just a shipment of
Yeah.
some random
Oh, was it?
shit, yeah.
Okay.
God
Oh,
knows.
speaking of LAR-15 mags, I think what's that company? I saw some MFT 10 rounders. Has anybody had any experience with them?
MFT?
Yeah, Mission First Tactical. They were being sold out of Bullseye London.
Are they the single stack ones?
I'm not entirely sure. They're like
Single
polymer.
stock, we are
They're like
now.
10 rounders. Let me pull it up. A friend sent it to me on
What
Facebook.
polymer ones? Get the IMI ones. Like they should be pretty good.
Yeah, well, because I have the classic LAR, like the metal ones, and
Yeah.
never had like with the orange follower, and I've never had a problem with them. But
I have some that are. I have one orange follower and 3 that are a gray follower.
let's see.
I think they're old as fuck.
Yeah, here they are. Load, please. What are these? Like, what do you guys think about these things? Like, because I don't know if anybody's ever. Because my friend was like, "What are these?" And I'm like, "I honestly don't know," and I've shot a lot of stuff.
I can't say I've ever
would.
seen these.
I would wonder, like, if you really like polymer, then I guess they're okay. But like, I got these RRA 10 rounders for, I want to say
$30, I think. 20, 30. Yeah, I have those too. I have like 5 of them.
Yeah,
I think
I
the
got a 10
XCR
pack
pistol
for
mags
twice.
are like $17 or something like that. Like they're a pretty good price.
Yeah, I like
On,
the.
Wolverine. Just
like the
search.
face on
Go
those.
to Wolverine, search XCR micro pistol or something like that. You'll find it.
Oh, the XCR mags. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get them in 7.62 with 39, 308, and 223.
I heard the 7.62x39s don't feed very well.
Well, it's because the 7.62 it needs to be like bananaed so much. That's why
Yeah.
AK mags are so
Oh.
fucking bananaed. But in order to get the square to fit into the AR mag wall, it doesn't feed very well.
Right.
Yeah,
But
I mean that's
like
pretty
any
much all
any
mag level,
AR,
right?
yeah, like any AR 7.62 by 39 mag isn't going to feed very well. It's just
Interesting.
fact of the point. It has nothing to do with the specific XCR one. Well, it won't work if you stick it in a pistol. You
It's a pistol mag. Come on.
need to get the right pistol for your magazine.
Guys, has anyone actually ever seen an LAR?
Yes.
No.
I haven't seen them in Canada, but Americans are all over that shit. So
Well, 'cause they have this
their
stupid
barrel
pistol
length
law there.
restrictions.
I remember
Yeah,
Global
they
like
have to
ran
have
a
over
big,
16.5-inch barrels.
Global ran a big shtick going. There's like 20 or 30 of these guns in the country, but there's thousands and thousands of magazines. Oh my
Oh
god!
no, that was for the
Think of the
50 Beowulf
children.
one.
That was a 50 Beowulf. There's
No,
like
they do
4
that
of
about
them.
the LAR as well. Like there's
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
like
really?
none of these guns in the country with the mags for it are everywhere. There's no way in hell everyone buying these mags has the pistol stock.
Because there's no way to fucking. I don't even think the Canadian government recognizes AR-15 pistols.
They do that, otherwise the magazine wouldn't be legal here as a pistol mag.
They don't
Maybe
recognize the
This country
magazine.
somewhere, it's just no one wants it.
Well, yeah.
Beaver Nuts
There's no
has
point to
or
sticking
had
those stupid
at one
braces on in
point
Canada.
the RRA pistol.
Really,
Yeah, and then he like
actually had the
Yeah.
real LAR-15.
no he had the
Well,
RRA
those
and he stuck it on he put it on CGNEE for like $5,000 back when the election was going on. He's like, get your RRA now before Trudeau bans them. It was so funny.
those
Shitposting.
PU-16s or whatever, like the pistol version of the SU-16, those will take him, and I know I've seen those around.
Yeah.
I remember
somebody
some guy tried to import a CZ858 pistol and got told, nah, fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
No,
Edward. Edward from TV Press Pass. He tried bringing one in,
Yeah.
and I
he got-
mean the
Really?
thing is, it matches what a pistol should be. Unlike an AR-15 pistol, where there's a freaking buffer tube coming out the back. On the CZ, there was nothing. It was just
No,
cut
they-
off
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
I thought they gave him the FRT for it, but then they banned the mags, didn't they?
Yeah,
No,
they claim
it
the mag is a dual-use magazine for rifle
Yeah.
and pistol, which has
Yeah.
no precedent in law and is a crap of bullshit, but like he has the money to fucking sue about it.
Well,
Yeah,
like,
he's just
why wouldn't
a
they just let him
journalist.
bring it in and have him use rifle mags?
No, I thought they gave
That's
him
exactly
the
what
FRT
they
for it.
did.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
exactly
so
what they did. They told him his
get the
10-round
he
pistol
did get the
magazine
gun
for-
in, he just doesn't have the mags.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't give him the mags for it.
Yeah, he wanted the 10-round mags bad.
They wanted 10-round mags, and they told him, no, these are dual-purpose magazines for rifle
So
and
you just
pistol.
need to
It's
get
like, well,
some company, just get CZ on the line and get him to be like, yeah, make just a
like
short
CZ's
10-round
gonna
mag,
give a
and
shit
like,
is the only problem.
No,
well,
but
they
then
seem to
Well,
care about
Zahal
the
has
market.
worked with him in the past, so I mean, Zahal could probably
Yeah.
do something with him.
No, but
Like,
the
I don't know
thing
with that
is
958, like,
they need to
Hunter, you do
determine
something
when
like
the magazine was determined to be a pistol mag. Because like if you manufacture it as a rifle mag and then stamp it for pistol, apparently it's not okay. Whereas if you do it the other way around, it's like we're going to be making pistol mags and then stamp them first, then it's okay. I don't know. It's a big mess.
Where's my Beowulf mags here?
Yeah, that are stamped on the side, 450 Beowulf only. And Alexander Arms' website says these will only feed 50 Beowulf. Don't put 223 in them.
Yep.
Yeah, like if you try to convert a standard GI mag into a 50 Beowulf mag, then the RCMP will say that it's a dual-purpose converted magazine.
Yep.
But if you build it as a 50 Beowulf mag, then it's fine.
Yep.
No, they've said both. So I mean, what do you do to build an AR-15 mag as a straight up 50 Beowulf mag? You might put a horizontal, like a semicircle cut in the front there to give more clearance. You might crimp them to fit only 50 Beowulf rounds in there. But it
doesn't seem like that works too well.
Well, I mean, this is, and you stamp it to make sure that people damn well know this is only for 50 Beowulf. And if you put something else in there, you are breaking the warranty terms of use, that kind of thing.
It's kind of like.
I like how you pointed out that it's crimped so that it won't feed anything other than 50 Beowulf, but before that you showed the 223 saying it.
Oh, is that what I got in there? No, yeah, I guess. So.
Oh, it was an accident. I mean, like sometimes you just grab a mag and load it, and you don't know.
The bullets just fell in the magazine. You can't help that.
You look at HKs, sometimes you accidentally put them in backwards.
Yeah.
That disclaimer that says, "Oh yeah, not for anything but 50 Beowulf." It's kind of like how during Prohibition era they used to sell grape juice and say, "Do not put this, do not put this in a dark place with yeast and let it ferment, and it will be wine. Do not do that."
or they'd go and like have a prescription alcohol. Go to your doctor and go, I got a backache, and he writes you a prescription for alcohol. They're doing the same shit with weed now. You go to your doctor and say my foot hurts. He gives you a prescription for medical marijuana.
Soon it won't be like that. Soon they'll legalize it and we can tax it.
Are you allowed to grow your own yet?
Yeah. Apparently you are.
For
it's
medical
weird.
marijuana,
You're allowed to grow some plants for personal use, but I don't fucking know or care too much.
I think they challenged it in the Supreme Court, didn't they?
They did, and the Supreme Court said, yeah, you got to let them grow their own shit, and Harper was angry.
No, we gotta tax that stuff. Like a true conservative would be like, you know what? People are smoking this shit. Let's tax it. Let's make some roads.
Exactly, but the problem is what you need to do to be smart about it is you got to start and find out what the market price is in the illegal market at the moment and undercut that by 10 to 20%, because otherwise people will still just keep buying the cheap shit off the streets to save money. Some people will, but you got to undercut.
The street stuff should go down.
Yeah.
Oh, if it was legalized, the price would crash. The price would totally crash.
They could just
all your risk just goes away.
I fully expect Ontario to be stupid and charge 100 to 200% more than street prices for the same amount of marijuana because we're fucking dumb with our liquor laws. I have no faith that Kathleen Wynne is going to be any smarter about marijuana.
Yeah,
what you need to do is undercut.
Definitely just start growing their own though.
Yeah, you need to undercut by about 20% for what's the street price for about 2 years' time to kill the street market completely. Then you start slowly raising prices to the stupid bullshit high levels you want them to be at.
Yeah.
After you
get tourism going, right? If you're gonna get pot, you might as well get tourism. Like I'd love to get a bunch of snowboarders out here. We got Jasper really close. I'd love to get a bunch of guys to go out here, smoke weed, go snowboarding Jasper. It would do amazing things for the local economy here.
Oh yeah.
Smoke weed, shoot guns, and go snowboarding. There you go.
Fuck yeah.
Same thing here. There's like Marble
all
Mountain.
at the same time, just fucking going down the mountain.
Woo! That'll be like Haycock 45 riding his bike and shooting the Uzi off the side, right?
You see the one where he's riding on the tractor with like the full auto Glock?
I just like
doing like tractor drive-bys on his 2 liters. It was hilarious.
I just like watching the one who's like, "This is how I get guns," and he's walking around the warehouse just grabbing random shit.
I don't think I watched
do one for Canada where it's like, "Here's how we get guns in Canada." Click, click, click. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
That's my house.
Click, click, click. 2 days later, open the front door. Thank you.
More appropriately, open the front door. Hey, look, it arrived.
Has anybody?
They put it on my neighbor's door. Damn it!
Oh, they hid it in the bushes somewhere.
Canada Post leaving a firearm outside your house?
Nope.
Damn straight.
Yeah, I told a story about that last week where a buddy of mine from work had a gun sitting outside his parents' house for like 2 weeks before they noticed.
I had one
Canada
that
Post
they.
is at the depot, which is right down the hill from the house.
I had one show up, or at least it showed up as delivered on the tracking, and I couldn't find it. And phoning around, nobody could find it. Finally, like 3 days later, the guy had stashed it in my barbecue.
Nice guy.
Yeah, I was like, oh, sweet. There it is.
Turn your barbecue on. You might light some ammo.
Well, and I'm glad I didn't, because a lot of times if I am going to grill, I'll preheat that sucker for a good half hour.
It gets all the cosmoline off.
Yeah.
Well, I ordered some mags a while ago, and I noticed they got delivered. Like, I got the Canada Post delivery thing. So I went down to the post office, and I'm like, so I got my magazines in it, or I got a package or whatever, but it's not in my mailbox. And they're like, no, it's not here. I was like, all right, whatever. I'll try again tomorrow. Go home and just double check the notification. They sent it to my billing address instead of my shipping address. So I had to call my mom because that's where my credit card's still registered as. And I'm like, so you got some magazines for me?
Oh, I get everything non-gun delivered to my work because it's sweet. I get it like at work.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait, right?
Well, it's pretty much the only thing I get delivered now is gun shit.
Yeah.
The next
Any
top-
other? Yeah, keep going.
I was going to go through number 3, which is actually really interesting. Alkali Feldspar. He made some brass bullets. Solid brass, 9.3 bullets in a 9.3 by 62, and he shot it, and apparently they didn't explode.
Yeah, well, he's the one who keeps making files and then sending them to friggin' China where they can manufacture for them, right? Yeah.
I got to get this hook up.
That was actually really good to take a look at there, that he made a solid brass projectile there.
Oh yeah, those are a thing.
Like, I've heard of solid
Those
copper.
extreme penetrators, I think, are solid brass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
those
make
will-
them for hunting elephants and that kind of thing.
Wow. Fuck.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't want your round to go squish.
would
Yeah, I
work for
saw
everything
that and
else.
thought it was really interesting. And then a post in some other thread got me thinking about doing something else really stupid. So we already know that caliber restrictions don't apply to rifles because we've got 25-06 and then we've got 32 ACP Scorpion rifles. But that got me to thinking, do barrel length restrictions apply to rifles? If you were to get a Scorpion with a 3-inch barrel, that's a rifle, would it be legal?
It depends what the receiver is.
Yeah, I just read a thread earlier today actually about that. Like somebody was wanting a 4-inch barreled AR or something like that.
Yeah, I remember.
That was the one I was just talking about.
Yeah, and from what I've seen in the
that.
comment, it seemed like the barrel restriction was only for pistols of restricted.
So
like
that got me to
any
think-
barrel less than between like 0.1 inches and 18.5 is restricted for a rifle.
Yeah. But that got me to thinking, someone should test this in the most fuck you way possible. Make a 3-inch barrel fucking PDW in 25 ACP with the folding shit stock like on the CZs and just try and get that approved for sale in Canada. Just like the biggest like fucking stupid useless piece of shit. 25 ACP with a 3-inch barrel and it's a rifle, and just see if it gets approved. You could probably fucking 3D print half the shit for that thing.
Well, somebody needs to make a 50 Beowulf pistol. Like a
Oh,
semi-automatic 50 Beowulf
people
pistol. That's
already
not an
do
AR at all. It's just a pistol that takes 50 Beowulf, standard 50 Beowulf mags.
People email Alexander Arms actually to try and ask them to make a Beowulf pistol, and Alexander Arms says, "We don't give a shit about your tiny market enough to care."
They'll do it if California was the same, they would do it.
But California banned pistols with assault rifle features or assault.
Yeah.
Features.
So no more C96s in California. It's got a
Did you see,
magazine.
like, they released that new thing about the bullet button.
Yeah,
like,
you can't.
And then like
No, you can't.
the day after, somebody came out with the bullet button Mark II.
Yeah.
It's
They basically
fucking
have to
hilarious.
flop the upper just to unload the mag, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's way easier than having to load it in the upper like they wanted you to.
Yeah, because like he has like a special, he has that fast unlocking pin or whatever. He just pulls it out.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he just has a pin with a hole in it and a piece of paracord drilled
T-loop.
in it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not very hard.
Anyone have
But
a link?
yeah, like the mag release, he just made a thing for the mag release so that when the upper's down, it blocks it from fully engaging, and then when you lift the upper up, you can just engage the mag release.
Easy peasy.
So you're not doing tactical reloads, but you can reload your gun reasonably quick.
Well, we're getting close to 2.5 hours here, so if there's anything else, do we want to shut her down here?
I'm just trying to look up the prohibited devices for importation, and then what that exactly says.
Give me a sec to actually find the.
Does it look really fun? Because if yes, it's prohibited.
Certain short handgun barrels and overcapacity magazines. See prohibited devices below. For anybody wondering, it is actually the CBSA memo, D Memorandum D1913-2. I will pop a link.
What was that about overcapacity magazines being prohibited? Because you can buy like 110 round AR drums.
Yeah, well, basically it's just you can't import a prohibited magazine. That's all it means.
Where are we? Firearms and other weapons.
Oh, found it. Okay, Section 48, prohibited devices. A prohibited device is B.
A handgun barrel that is equal to or less than 105 millimeters in length.
Interesting.
Yeah, according to the Criminal Code of Canada, I found it here at this link. And yeah, B, a handgun barrel that is equal to or less than 105 millimeters in length, but does not include any such handgun barrel that is prescribed where the handgun barrel is in use in international sporting competitions governed by the rules of the International Shooting Union.
Oh, so you can have a short-barreled pistol for target shooting, or what?
For the Olympic shit.
Yeah, but the Olympic shit's always got like a 5-inch barrel anyway.
Yeah, the ISSC or whatever.
I find the replica firearm to be stupid. Like, what even?
That's actually
what do
been
they consider a handgun, though?
It's the registration. All firearms being imported into Canada get a FRT. So you'll have to check whether or not it was classified as a handgun or a rifle.
Which gun?
Any firearm being imported into Canada has an FRT.
Yeah.
Or have an FRT.
Well, I was just wondering which gun specifically were you talking about here?
Oh, no, I think...
Theory.
Theory, yeah. Same with any gun designed or manufactured in Canada for commercial sale has to be submitted for approval for FRT.
Yes.
Because the FRT database is actually the biggest and most comprehensive database of firearms in the world.
Yeah, well, it actually has a bunch of stuff in it that's like freaking like airsoft guns that are over, and air rifles that are over 500 FPS and actually over 366, I believe. Are all on there. Like any.
Yeah, but you still don't need a license for those, I don't think.
Yeah, air guns above 500 feet per second need a license.
Yeah, so you need anything above 500 feet per second and a muzzle energy of 1.7 or 5.7 or something like that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Those like the Daisy C's for the cadets shoot like 570 or something like that.
Yeah, but it depends on the projectile as well. If the muzzle velocity is below whatever the threshold is, then it's not a controlled firearm. But it is still classified as an uncontrolled firearm, so you still have to follow firearms laws.
Apparently, that was a weird Supreme Court.
But you don't need
that was a
license,
weird court case that I don't know if it went to the Supreme Court or not.
It went to Ontario's, I believe, and it hasn't gone higher yet. There was one because like some guy got like busted for having like a replica firearm, and it's like a fucking airsoft gun. And then Ontario, I believe, ruled that any airsoft gun can be classified as a uncontrolled firearm because any speed can cause serious bodily harm.
Didn't the Edmonton police do something recently about airsoft guns being as dangerous as real guns?
Because the cops would fucking shoot you if you had one.
Oh, yeah.
And like because like the thing is they don't want people like running around with them like robbing banks and shit. So like it has to be treated as like if you see somebody with a fucking replica, you can't tell because it's a replica.
So with replica law, does that apply to all like firearms? There's like a cutoff for like antiques or something.
Basically, my understanding of the replica law is if it's not functioning, it's a replica. But if it's like an airsoft gun, it's not really a replica.
Okay, so
some other capacity.
Okay, so a replica firearm. If it's an antique, it's not considered a firearm. so that's just off the table whatsoever. A replica of an antique, I think a replica of an antique rifle is okay, and I have to double check the antique portion. But a replica of a firearm is anything that looks or resembles the firearm, basically, except for any controlled or uncontrolled firearms. So a replica is a prohibited device. A replica is not a firearm.
But
Right?
I've seen replica, like, single-action armies and replica Lugers for sale before.
Yeah.
That's always kind of fucked with me, because I saw, like, just a plastic fucking Luger for sale that looked pretty decent.
Because I think Lugers were they ever manufactured before the antique day?
No, 1908.
Oh, okay.
1908's the first.
The thing is that, like, the law is very vaguely worded. It's like reasonably. Let's see. Let me look it up. What it exactly says. Replica. Any device that is designed or intended to exactly resemble or to resemble with near precision a firearm, and that itself is not a firearm, but does not include any such device that is designed or intended to exactly resemble or to resemble with near precision an antique firearm.
Okay.
Okay, so if it's a firearm, then it's not a replica, and vice versa. So, for example, like any airsoft rifle over 360 FPS, 366 FPS, and under 500 would be a controlled firearm, or uncontrolled firearm, sorry, which would make it not a replica, because that's what the Supreme Court ruled was any device that can cause serious bodily harm is a firearm.
Okay, I was wondering about that because I picked this up. I ordered it from the States, just on the internet, to Walther P99 Airsoft, but I mean it's identical.
Yeah, does
no
it
difference
shoot
at all.
over 366 feet per second?
I can't get my crony to pick up the little yellow ball for some reason, so I don't know. And I threw the box away that would have said.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that would basically, because if it's over 366, then it would be classified as a uncontrolled firearm, which would mean that it is not a replica, because a replica is a prohibited device.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I'm sure it's probably faster than 300, but I'd be
Does it
surprised.
shoot?
If it's faster.
Is it powered by CO2?
No, it's just a spring, but it'll give you a pretty good welt. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
One interesting thing I remember is being at a Renaissance fair, and there was a place that sells LARP supplies, and they were selling one-handed crossbows for LARP. And I actually straight up went to the guy, and I'm like, aren't those illegal? And he's like, no, the law doesn't say anything about one-handed crossbows. I went home and looked the law up, and yeah, one-handed crossbows are illegal.
Yeah, single-handed crossbows and pistol crossbows are illegal. Yep.
But like, the guy didn't know that, and I'm just like thinking to myself, like, this guy, like, people can get fucked for that, possession of a prohibited device, and all they're trying to do is LARP. And this guy is selling that. Like, I remember seeing a blade shop, though, in Mississauga that brazenly on their website advertises switchblades and spring-assisted knives.
Well, yeah. There's a store in Victoria with, like, brass knuckles and shit. Because, like, I was actually looking at a bunch of these stores, and I'm like, oh, this shit's pretty cool. I'm like, where is this place? Oh, it must be in the U.S. because you can't buy this stuff here. And they, like, look at the address, and it's in fucking Victoria, BC.
I might know some friends that bought one-handed crossbows from Marstar just a couple of years ago.
Oh,
they were crap, like they were bullshit crossbows.
Yeah.
But,
let me look up what it says about crossbow, because
that's in the regulations prescribing certain firearms and other weapons to be prohibited.
Yeah, it's prohibited weapon. Crossbow for one-handed use. A crossbow is a device with a bow and a bowstring mounted on a stock that is designed to propel an arrow, bolt, quarrel, or any similar projectile on trajectory, blah, 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 and is capable of causing serious bodily harm or serious bodily injury or death to a person.
Okay, so they probably passed under the threshold of serious bodily injury with the things that they had.
If it's shooting, like, fucking Nerf darts or something, then it's not
They're real
bolts. Shooting LARP arrows, but probably just not fast enough to do anything. But it would be debatable.
Yeah. So if it shoots real bolts, then it's a prohibited weapon.
They were shooting bolts that would go through my fence. So.
Okay.
So Marstar was
Well,
selling prohibited weapons. Nice.
Well, I wonder though, one-handed, like you couldn't cock it with one hand, so maybe that's how they get around it.
Who knows?
No, one-handed use is basically because it's also a crossbow 500 millimeters or shorter. It has a length not exceeding 500 millimeters. The length includes the stirrup. So if it's smaller than 50 centimeters, or you can shoot it with one hand. Oh, you could get a SIG brace for it.
Crossbow or similar device that is designed or altered to be aimed at by the action of one hand, whether or not it has been redesigned or subsequently altered to be aimed and fired by the action of both hands, or has a length not exceeding 500 millimeters.
Yeah.
That's pretty complicated.
Yeah, I wonder if you can put a SIG. Well, okay, then that because you can't remanufacture it.
You can't
right?
remanufacture it. Yeah.
Okay, so you can't put a SIG brace on it.
No, you can't. What I find also interesting is that knife combs are illegal, but sword canes are not.
That's a length restriction for concealed.
Any device having a length of less than 30 centimeters and resembling an innocuous object, but designed to conceal a knife or blade, including the device commonly known as a knife comb, being a comb with the handle of a comb forming the handle for the knife, and any similar device. So as long as you've got at least 30 centimeters worth of knife, well, basically, like take a school ruler.
At least 30 centimeters worth of device. The blade can be any length.
Yeah.
So you can have like a fucking cane with like a 1-inch blade on it, and it would be all good. But the thing is that you can also be charged for concealed weapons, but it's not in itself a prohibited weapon.
Yeah. Then there's any device designed to be capable of injuring, immobilizing, or incapacitating a person or animal by discharging electrical charge produced by means of the application or accumulation of the electrical current generated by a battery, where the device is designed or altered so the electrical charge may be discharged with a device of a length less than 480 millimeters. So that's why Canada Ammo brought in the amazing stun cane for dog defense, but you can't buy a taser.
Yeah,
because tasers are too short.
Yep. It was that. I think that was designed so farmers could still have their
cattle prods.
Yeah.
So could you make a taser that doesn't use a battery?
Solar.
Well, you should be able to do like a short-term capacitor and
no, because
like
then
a
that's the
thing.
accumulation of energy.
But it says generated by a battery specifically.
Yeah, it does say specifically battery.
Or accumulation of the electrical current generated by a battery. So yeah, if you end
should
up
be able
having
to do like a wind-up taser.
yeah, because it's not a holy shit.
Oh my god! Hold on.
Oh no! Yeah.
You guys are out of your bag going, hold on, don't rape me for a second. Hold on a sec.
Well, you might be able to get one of those
gun cabinet and get my pistol out. Load the magazine in the corner here. And
they make this like shake chargers or whatever. You might be able to get one where, like, as you make like the stabbing motion, would give you just enough charge to like shock somebody at the end of it.
Well, with
or no, you can get something like a watch, like that has the you know some watches have kinetic movement.
Oh yeah, the shake the watch and it charges it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. Wind it up and then have it like tick over for a while. There you go.
Now, would a capacitor? No, hold on. But would a capacitor be classified as a battery?
That's the debate. Is what a
well,
capacitor.
No, okay. Here you go. You put it as a spring. You got a spring inside that would spin this thing to generate your current, and then when you go to use it, you just quickly unlock the spring and then touch it to somebody, and it would spin and shock them. There you go.
If you got a real strong spring, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't need to go for very long. Like a magneto will give you a really good fucking shock.
Yeah,
with, like,
literally. All you need to be all you can do is just twist it back up. It stores it in the spring, and then you just lock the spring into place. When you need it, you press a battery. The spring will let loose, spin something, and zap.
Yep. There you go.
It just depends on what their definition of a battery is and whether they could consider it a mechanical battery.
Spring is a battery.
That would be a fun case.
You know that some fucking judge some lawyer, would probably try to find someone who would justify a spring as a mechanical battery.
Probably.
Well, that's what I'll need all the stupid. Oh, here's the fun one. You can't buy pepper spray, but you can buy dog spray.
Oh yeah.
Pepper spray. Pepper spray is even more powerful than pepper spray.
Yeah, but you can't really carry bear spray in the city. Is the thing.
No, it's all
You
the
can carry
same.
dog
No,
spray.
you can bring. You
bears
can
in
get pretty
cities?
small. Like you can get bear sprays like that.
No, but
And
the
they
thing
come with
is,
little holsters and shit.
if you have to use it and argue weapon of opportunity, the police are going to ask you why, and the court's going to ask you why the fuck do you have bear spray in the city of Toronto?
Oh, because I drive
Oh,
to
it's
the
fucking
ring all the
illegal to
time.
use bear spray on people.
Well, you
I
go,
know.
If
you
you use
just
bear
you go
spray on
by that
somebody,
gay
it's
bar,
fucking
and there's a
illegal.
bunch of like
I
really
know.
aggressive bears that come out of the gay bar. So yeah, you need the bear spray.
I know it's illegal, but you could argue weapon of opportunity to the courts, and it depends on like I've heard some stories of like when the rapes were happening at York University, women were brazenly carrying fucking bear mace, and the cops are just saying, yeah, we're not going to do anything about it. So that already tells me it's a piss poor law. But honestly, when I hear the government say we don't want you to have pepper spray, the most like unlethal form of defending yourself, that to me is just the government saying we want you to be victims of crime.
Well,
yeah,
you have to you can carry different self-defense weapons, but you have to make sure they're not a weapon. So
Yeah,
like if
you
you carry
can't-
one of those extendable batons, it's not an extendable baton. It's your tire pressure checker.
No, it's for breaking windows in case of emergency.
Breaking windows, yeah, in case you go off a bridge into the water. It's to break the window.
My dad carries a knife with a serrated blade in case his seatbelt gets stuck and he needs to get out of the car.
Yep.
Well, I carry a pocket knife all the time because I have a fucking
Yeah,
pocket
because
knife.
it's a utility, general utility.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you
this one's
cannot
not
carry.
really a general utility, but
It
Yeah,
is.
that's the biggest bullshit. Is you
Straight
cannot
blades.
carry anything for defense.
Yep.
Anything
It's
at all. You tell them I'm
really,
carrying this for
like,
self-defense, we get
you
charged
can
with
defend
possession of a
yourself
weapon
with a weapon, but you can't carry the weapon. Yeah.
for
Like
protection.
if you use something, and like I could defend myself with this knife, but if I say I carry this knife to defend myself, I'm fucked. Whereas if I say I carry this knife because it's a tool that I use every day, then I'm
And
fine.
I just so happened to use it because I was getting attacked. Then yes, you're
Yeah,
allowed to do that.
like yeah, I just have this knife to open boxes and shit because we're working shit. But I got attacked and I just happened to have the knife in my pocket, so I grabbed it and used it. Then you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah,
But if you
exactly.
say, yeah, I carry this knife for my personal protection, you're fucking screwed.
Well,
Which
if
is
you-
fucking stupid.
Yeah. Well, if you get a small dog spray, you can say you go running at night and then you've encountered some like coyotes and shit,
Yeah, and work.
or like raccoons. I don't know.
Exactly. Well, with that, it's been 2.5 hours plus, so let's say goodnight and go to the post show.